What's up, people? It's a little bit of a surprise for you guys. Even the ones that want to do the whole shenanigans thing where you I just don't want to give people time to sabotage stuff because I want to make this right. So we have a very special guest coming in. Um, hey, you guys know what it is, and I decided to go ahead and do a little something that I haven't done in a minute when it comes to drawing when I have a guest up here. So we're gonna be doing some Q&A, right? Um, it's going to be something to where you may have to just pull out a pen and pad instead of trying to get some popcorn and get entertained. Even though pen and pad stuff could be entertaining as well, but I just want to be able to utilize her time as a learning experience. I want this in the libraries. I want these things that'll be considered something that can be passed down, right? And shout out to Wolf or Set in the West. Appreciate you, fam. And hopefully, as you see, the number is a little low because basically, it hasn't been shared or yet, and then plus the algorithms. I'm not normally on Sundays. I might try to bring that back though, you know. But what's a day without haters? Oh man. So just hit the like button, share, and subscribe on the way in. And yes, you see it right there on the screen. Sister Jaguar Wright is coming through. In the meantime, I think I'm going to be doing more Sundays coming up because I think I kind of got my schedule situated, at least for January. So we got some things lined up, you know. Um, oh, hold on. Let me see if I got that sound right there. Da-da-da. Okay, the sound is good. Okay, am I too loud? I hope not. So we're getting up to 11, right? 11. And let's see. So shout out to AB coming through. Yes, I already sent you the link, brother. It's in your email. It's called Sunday Link. Shout out to Set in the West. We got Jay Mizak. And we got Adric Hapoi. Right? But for all intents and purposes, this is a real treat for me. And I have a feeling you're going to be seeing Jag more often, a little more often than before, at least with the common folk. So we can know who the real person, who that person really is, because internet and people splice and cut up things and make people look a certain way, and I'm like, no, man, that's not how it normally is. But it's all good, I mean, people are going to get their clicks and views or whatever you call them, right? but mainly, let's see here. Oh yeah, I got to get my questions too, man. So there's going to be some interesting questions. Hopefully you guys get something from that as well. Sometimes I put my interview questions in the description box. And by the way, if you need to know more information about her and like her website and Cashapp, Venmo, and all that stuff, check out the description box. It's all in there. It's all in there. Let me see if I can put it on both ears here. Her bio. I mean, shoot, I might as well read it, huh? So let me go ahead and read this bio and hit the like button, share, and subscribe. I might as well do that. Let's go on with this bio here. While we're waiting. And it's nice and brief too. All right, so here we go. So it says here, it says Jaguar Wright, the fearless and outspoken neo soul singer, is back with a new chapter in her musical journey. Known for her powerful vocal and raw authenticity, Jaguar is set to release new music that reflects her personal evolution and industry experiences. After making waves as a whistleblower, she's ready to return to her roots, bringing fans fresh sounds and stories driven by her signature passion and truth. Stay tuned for an unforgettable revival for an artist who has never been afraid to speak her mind or break the mold. So that is, we wanted to keep it brief. And then, as you know, her website is thejaguarwright.com. She got some YouTube channels, all right, Rumble, and she has a music link too. All of that is in the description box. So keep that in mind. Everything is there available for you. So appreciate it. Now we're up to 19 people. And shout out to Char Woolley the Great. Appreciate you coming through. Who else? Okay. So what I'm looking for, I guess I'll just keep talking here. I want to be able to get an understanding of the direction of neo soul, right? Now, as you guys know, that I was talking to Deadset about this for a minute. I would say the pocket of 85 to 88. I couldn't, I'm a little off on that, but around that time, we're looking at, I think soul music or black music was kind of dead, like Jimmy Carter today. Shout out to Red Pill Sleeper Cell. It wasn't like, you had like some, good singers, right? You had people that were very seasoned or whatever, but as far as 85 to 88, if you were on the dance floor, sometimes you would play older songs or hip hop to get people going, riled up. And this is, I lived during this time, and I'm getting this from older folks as well. So fast forward going into 88, maybe 87, 88. You had the, I'm sorry. During that time that I'm speaking, you still had like Sade, Loose Ends, people that were trying to still keep with the formula instead of going to all that whole digital drums and things of that nature. So they were trying to keep it going, right? And they stayed with that formula for a while. But when Teddy Riley hit the scene, the New Jack Swing, so that kind of gave it a little bit of life because it had, jazz element, had the hip hop in there a little bit, sampling. So it got people, we can go with Johnny Kemp, right? Bobby Brown, So you had the earlier times of New Jack Swing. So that kind of sustained it where people can really show off their vocals and still be able to play music during the time when it was time to get on the dance floor. You know what I mean? So you had that element there. But going further down, hip hop or rap or whatever you call it was just so dominant. So when you're going further into like what, early 90s, mid 90s, around that time, then you had neo soul, right? Neo soul, I think that sustained black music. Matter of fact, neo soul was, in my opinion, I think it was more grassroots than New Jack Swing. So you can slow the tempo down a little bit. Shout out to Philly. That's why I hope we can get into that too, because you couldn't really talk about neo soul without really giving a lot of props to Philadelphia. Okay. And she was part of that movement. I don't know if it's considered a movement genre, but it was that. So from what I gathered, because I'm not in the music business, but consumer being around that time, from what I gather, you're supposed to go through Philly in order to make a name for yourself with Neo Soul. And she was part of the big wigs. She was part of the pioneers, as you will. And so I would like to get that information as far as the direction that it was supposed to go. What did it do for Black music? That kind of thing. So we're going to be getting to that kind of thing probably later on. But the interview is mainly getting into who she is as a person and her journey in the industry. Because that's going to be very interesting to me. I mean, if she wants to get into some other stuff later on, then so be it. We'll ride with it and see how it goes. You know what I mean? But please hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Now we're at 20. Let's see. I think I sent the link. Yeah, I sure did. Yeah. And this time around, matter of fact, I should be doing this as we speak. I've been so lazy. Well, I don't even know if it's lazy or tired when it comes to doing these live streams. I just sit and talk and look at material and read articles. And I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if people got tired of seeing me draw. I'm like, it's like whatever. So I wonder. Let's see, did you get the link in your email? Okay, there you go. All right, so I'm sorry for people being impatient. Shout out to Brother Charles Faulkner, known as Officer Charles. And we have a lot in common. We talking about stuff in our profession, but people that are not in it constantly try to correct us. So, and I hope I won't seem that way when the sister come up, because that's her profession. So I'm just taking notes, right? So hope this is nice and clear. Hope the lights here. Yeah, but sometimes I wonder too. I mean, you got new people like what's that? I think it's Ernie Isley's daughter. I think it's, oh my God, is it Ashley Isley? Something like that. I forgot her name. And then you have Bobby McFerrin's daughter. I don't even know if they're considered neo soul or not. Right? So I can't wait for her to give us her take on how those things are being set today. Because, I mean, obviously there has been a huge shift, But sometimes neo soul has a bad rap because it seems like it produced a lot of simps, like Common, stuff like that. People begging and stuff. I don't know. I mean, to me, I just think that they were trying to keep it or bring it back to where it was when people had to have some talent and come with it on stage. So that's the part that I understood. Right. We're at 24. Okay, that's pretty quick. All right, little old me. So again, we got Ken seeing red. Appreciate you, fam, for coming through. Let me make sure I got the right email, because it said Brother Wolf. Let's see, sent. Yeah, it's right there. So it is now 2:20. So that means I'm going to be here for a while. But according to what Red Pill Sleeper Cell has let us know, is that Jimmy Carter, the Peanut Man, has passed. Right? So I believe the oldest or the oldest remaining president would be what, Bill Clinton? Bubba? Bubba. Yeah, he's the last one, y'all. And I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Yeah, so he's the last one left. Well, actually, they're not the last one, but he's the oldest one, the elder one. So it's him, Bush Jr., and then I believe Obama. But I believe Joe Biden is older than all of them. Yeah, and he's the most recent one. Oh, I'm sorry, and there's Trump too. My bad for you Trumpers out there. Yeah, I went up to 37. Okay, so people waiting. So I don't know if she's waiting to see how many people are going to come up, but usually the algorithm picks up when you have more activity. So I think that's how it's done. Right. Let's see. Biden is 617 years old. You ain't never lied, man. That's Jesus' uncle, right? It's Jesus' uncle, y'all. Biden is up there, man. We had a heck of a run in these politics, man. Heck of a run. You know, like I always say, the unfortunate part is that people use politics to not, to not come together with your brother or sister. It's sad. So I'll just read these these chats. Oh man, matter of fact, I gotta put her cash app up here. Like I gotta scroll that. That's very important. Let's see. Scroll that cash app. Okay, numbers going down. Okay, so I'm getting treated like the janky promoter. Boo! Where is she? Boo! So this is Jag's Cash App, you guys. So please hit that Cash app, show her some love. Let her know that y'all love this woman, because she's been around for quite some time, and whatever she says, everybody's interested. So I mean, give her props. You know what I mean? Give her flowers. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, we got the one and only, and the one that makes me laugh a lot. I don't know if she's trying to do it, but I'm like, good Lord, you just bring smiles to everybody. But here we go, y'all. We got the great Jaguar Wright. What's going on, my sister? What's up with the bubbles in the background? What's that all about?
Well, for all of the weirdos who have a hard time following the bouncing ball.
I got you. Okay, you okay? Everything's good?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna cam up today. And
Uh-oh.
then I said, I need to get myself ready to cam up today. And then I had to remember I'm already ready.
Yeah, and I'm going to be drawing you right next to you. I got my Palo Santo ready. I'm going to burn that and shade it with it,
Oh,
and got my
lovely.
lighter. Got my paintbrush.
I have a friend of mine that goes by Picasso in DC. He
Uh-huh.
used to sit with my friend Raheem Devon on his stage, and he would paint scenes and moments from the live show and then sell them to the fans after. So this
Wow.
kind of reminds me of that. And shout out to Picasso.
Okay. One day I'll probably run into the person. Hopefully,
I'm
one
sure
day.
you will. I don't know if he still travels with Raheem, but yeah, those are some really beautiful moments. I love when art just topples on top of each other, you know?
Yes, I see. But we gonna get into your art because I know you got valuable time and everything, and so let's see what we got here. Because I hope you went over the questions so there won't be any surprises. Like, how did you ask me that? I don't want you to get a.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't even read them.
Okay, well, I
Want
think
to
it's
know
still within your
why?
element. Go ahead, go ahead.
Because I appreciate a candid answer.
Okay, well, we
If
appreciate it
Odell
too.
didn't have a problem with the questions, I know he read them.
Okay. Yeah, because I want you to keep coming back whenever you want to. So I want to make sure the
Well,
questions are nice and comfortable.
I'm enjoying being here with a Black content creator.
All right. Well, I feel special.
Okay.
You got me chuckling.
Well,
Okay.
you know,
So,
they say I'm only nice to white content creators and that I'm
oh,
terrible to
really?
Black ones. Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. Well,
Have you had that experience with me?
not at all. Not at all. No, just you're the real deal. Real deal.
Thank you.
You kind of remind me. I'm quite sure you hung out with Shaka a few times, right?
I know her, yeah.
I hung out with her and Frida Payne backstage back in 2001.
I miss
And
hanging
yeah,
out with her in New York at the Sugar Bar.
and when I talk to you, it kind of but you don't use as much as profanity as she does.
I
But yeah,
know.
yeah, because
Ain't
I'm
that
like,
funny?
because think about it, Jag. She got all that sweet thing and all them nice like melodies, and in the backstage, she sound like Rick James. I'm
Yeah.
like, damn.
You
And then,
know, that's the funny thing about R&B singers or soul singers. Everyone listens to the music and they don't realize these are real women
yeah,
who have been
yeah, it
through
blew me
real
away.
things.
It blew me away. I was like, wow.
I
She
still get
says,
surprised when they get shocked at Anita Baker.
I heard about her. I heard
Anita,
about her.
Anita cut it
Yeah,
quick. And
yeah, I
the
heard
one thing
about
that
her.
I love about her is she's actually a better card player than Gladys Knight.
Get out of here.
Mhm.
Now, you have you ever worked with? He's dead now, but we called him. His name was Earl. He played keyboard. He played with everybody. He was. Oh,
Girl.
his nickname was Big Juicy.
I've heard of
Bald
him.
headed
I
guy.
never played with him, but I've heard of him.
He's the one that hooked me up with Shaka because I presented a portrait for her. You know,
Oh.
so he played with everybody. I sure hate that he passed away, but y'all probably did some things together because they
I might
everywhere.
have. There's been so many gigs.
Yeah, I miss Big Juicy. I mean, he kind of weirdo, but he was a cool brother. That's my frat brother
Well,
too, by the
you know,
way.
a touring professional artist is definitely not going to be ordinary.
Oh, not at all, not at all. But shout out to Big Juicy if anybody heard of him.
Shout out to Big Juicy. And if I didn't work with you, sorry I missed the chance.
Right. So we will
But
get
there are
into the
so
first.
many great unsungs.
Yeah, that's true. You know, I might try. I found out my one of my cousins used to play bass for Earth, Wind and Fire, and he's still living. I thought he was gone because he was on that, that substance. You know what I mean? So, but he's still around. So I might be able to like sneak an interview out of him somehow if he can talk.
You should. You should. I,
You talk-
I think that a lot of the young people should hear the old stories because they'll realize they're not any different than their stories.
yeah, that's why you here to make sense of what's going on. Let people know that they're not from outer space. They're real human beings, right?
You know, it's the second you sign that contract, you stop being a human being
Oh, we gonna get into
and you
that
don't
down
get
the
your
line.
humanity back until the
Yeah.
contract is over.
Ooh, yeah. You touching on my Michael Jackson question, but
Mhm.
so my first one is for those people that don't know. This like when you hear these questions, I know. I hope you don't say like, man, I thought he knew. This for the audience.
Come on.
Okay, so we got where. Okay, where are you from?
I was born in a hospital in New Jersey.
Oh,
My
Jersey. Okay.
family came from Philadelphia,
Mm-hmm.
moved to New Jersey
Mm-hmm.
to have a better life, yet we were always in Philly because it was right over the bridge. literally from my front door in Jersey back to the projects or to the block
Hmm.
was 25 minute to 30-minute drive, sometimes 20 minutes without, you know, yeah, without any traffic, without stopping. If you catch a good run of lights up Route 73,
Hmm.
get over the Tacony Palmyra Bridge. I mean, there's a lot of people who left city to move to South Jersey for a better life, and yet you never leave the city. And by the time I became an early teen, after I had gotten kicked out of boarding school in North Jersey,
Mm.
which was closer to New York than Philadelphia, I ended up
Okay.
going back home to Philly. My
Mm.
parents allowed me to move in with a family member, and I finished school there. And I ran track. And,
Hmm.
there's not one day in my life, even in our time in New Jersey, where I don't remember being in Philadelphia at least 5 days a week.
Okay.
We had a cleaning service, see, and I would get up in the morning. Dad would have us up no later than 4:30, quarter to 5. We'd get up and go straight to work. We had a medical cleaning company called Global,
Mm.
and we cleaned about 55 different um, doctors' offices, surgical rooms.
Okay.
And so we get up in the morning, we clean the buildings,
Hmm.
and then we go and have breakfast at either the Red Robin Diner or Oak Lane Diner. And then we
Wow.
stop out a block, and then I would have to go and get ready and go to school. I went to private school,
Was it
but I'm a
considered like a
Philadelphia
Catholic school? Was it like a Catholic school?
7-day Adventist.
Oh, 7 8 Adventist. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So would you say your roots were? Would you consider your roots being from Philly more than
Oh, of
Jersey?
course. My family has been there forever. I have descendants in Philadelphia on my mother's side starting at the late 1800s. And when my father's family came up from the South, they moved to Philly. Um,
Oh,
you
okay.
know,
What part of the
Spencer Street,
South?
West Oak Lane. My
Like
dad
like
was
what part of
born
the
in
South?
a little town called Pitts, Georgia.
Georgia.
And
Okay.
yeah, well, you'll never find it on the map. The state has disavowed all knowledge of it because they didn't want to have to pay reparations to any of the
Hmm.
living descendants who were harmed in the
Mm.
lynching.
Okay.
My dad was born in a lynch town,
Oh wow.
and
See, we. Hmm. Go
my
ahead.
family made it out, and they made it all the way down to White Springs, Florida, which is about 45 minutes from Panama City, Florida.
Oh
And my
wow.
dad's
So.
baby
Hmm.
sister is still there. And,
What?
yeah, the diabetes. Yeah, my aunt Teen, she's in her 80s now, baby girl. And God, I love her. Uh, but yeah, up until she lost her vision from diabetes during the pandemic, she was still going down to the fishing hole and getting supper or fish for fish and grits in the morning from the same watering hole that her and my dad used to fish at when she was a baby.
Wow. See, that's your roots right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine is
But they
Mississippi.
left. They left
Hmm.
and they
Hmm.
came north, came to
Okay.
Philadelphia. And yeah, Philly is my home.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to get some of that experience, that Philly experience right here on this interview. So we'll try to get as much as we can. So
I'm
are you
about as
able to?
Philly as they come.
When I see you, I want that Philly cheesesteak. I want to know what a real Philly cheesesteak tastes like.
I can cook it for you.
Okay, you heard that, Wolf. You heard that. It's on video.
He ain't gonna be mad because he gonna get his first. I promise you, he
Right,
gonna
I
beat
heard
you to
that.
his sandwich before you make it yours.
I just know. I just want some of it. Okay, I go
Oh
with the
no,
whole
I can get you
protocol. But
anything.
okay, I heard
The
that.
beautiful thing about being a chef,
Okay.
everything is gourmet.
Oh man. Okay. Well, looking forward to that. And so, like, as far as your talents,
Mm.
would you, everybody knows you can sing. You got some, what they say, you got some pipes. what have you. But is there any other talents like you do like dance or?
Yeah. My
Oh, okay.
grandfather was a song and dance man on the Chitlin circuit long before
Oh,
I came around.
uh,
And he actually used to open up for the Nicholas brothers, the famous Nicholas brothers
oh,
from the
okay.
Cotton Club. And it's a funny story,
Mm-hmm.
all of it, when you look at it all full circle. So
Mm-hmm.
let me walk you through it. Granddaddy was fire, pure fire. I
Mm-hmm.
actually I actually ran into someone who my granddad used to dance with in his very elderly age, and he told me, your granddaddy had educated feet. You dance
Okay.
mans, baby. You the dance mans, baby.
Oh man.
So anyway, my aunt Penny, who was the second oldest child, got pneumonia. And back then, that was a unalivement, you know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
sentence. And so it was all hands on deck and everyone had to work because they were still sharecropping. Um, and my granddad had to stay and work the land while everyone took care of Aunt Penny. And so he was supposed to be meeting the Nicholas brothers in Memphis,
Mm-hmm.
but he was late and they left without him.
Wow.
And
Yeah, I
that was
remember.
his big ticket to the Cotton Club. And then
Wow.
2 generations later, my Coca-Cola commercial is out, my album is out, I'm taking over the world. And my father's, no, I'm wrong. Because it was Aunt Susie, Aunt Verly, then Aunt Penny. Aunt Penny was the third oldest. That's the one that got the pneumonia.
Mm-hmm.
Not to be confused with limonia. Um, which is, you know, the Illuminati's version of pneumonia.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all of the Illuminati people that get the pneumonia and pass away, the low bar pneumonia.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. The limonia. Usually
Wow.
what you get when you refuse to lie. But
Yeah.
so the third oldest girl. And so anyway, my aunt Verly, the second oldest girl, God rest her soul, she gone on. All right, so my aunt Verly, since we're talking about art, is the grandmother of Kadir Nelson.
Wow. Okay. I heard that name.
So you know my cousin Kadir, you know his
Okay.
work.
Right.
And it's awesome that it's my son that has grown to learn how to paint as well as Kadir.
What an
I can't
honor.
wait for him to have more time in that. And then you met Kadir's mentor, my cousin Libby's husband, my Jamor, who painted my grandmother, the portrait that you saw of her.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, Kadir's grandmother calls me, my Aunt Verly, and she says, well, I didn't see you on television 3 times in the past hour. So I figured I'd just give you a call.
Okay.
She said, I see you more on TV now than in real life.
Okay. Right.
And I said, okay, Aunt Verly. And she said, I just wanted to tell you, thank you. And I said, for what, Aunt Verly? And she said, for making Daddy's dream come true.
Oh man.
He
Okay.
said he finally made it to the Cotton Club, even if it was through you.
I heard that. That sounds very spiritual. Very much.
I
I
miss
just.
her.
Oh yes. I can imagine. I only met the older Nicholas brother. I never met Harold. I forgot the other guy's
Fayad.
name. They are. There you go.
If I'm
Because
correct, I think Fayad is still in a nursing home if he hasn't passed yet.
I think
In
he's gone.
Lancaster, California, I think.
Oh,
Either
let me double.
Lancaster or by Richmond.
If he's alive, I owe him something because I was supposed to paint him.
I actually used to date one of his apprentices, and if you'd like, I can get in touch with him. One of the dancers from the legendary Housing Authority from Richmond, California, ergo Richmond, the producer who produced and choreographed a lot of Chris Brown's choreography for his shows.
Okay. Well, I'll
But
be
if
I'll
you
be
like, I
honored to
could,
get
I
that.
could, I could, I could reach out and ask.
Sure. I mean, if he's alive, I would drive. Well, I don't know if he's nearby. I would definitely hook him up because I owe him a portrait. Yeah, because he was at Sammy Davis dedication for the school out here, and he gave me a picture to paint of him and his brother, and I never got to it. We're talking about like 91.
Oh,
I
Fayard
feel so
is the
bad.
sentimental one.
Yeah, I felt so bad because I'm like I was so busy. I was in school at the time too, so but I would like to
He
at least give him his portrait.
humble soul, and it's funny because it was Fayard, and then everybody knows Harold.
Right.
And the
That's who I
reason why
remember.
Harold was more famous was because he's the one that married the Halle Berry of their time,
Right.
Dorothy Dandridge.
Right.
And then they
Yeah.
had that child who was learning disabled, and that was a great weight on what that
Didn't that,
relationship was supposed to look like.
if I'm not mistaken, didn't that child pass away?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I got my history right. Well, let me move on here because we can talk forever. Let me see. So, were you self-taught or were you classically trained? As far as your
Both.
vocals, both. Was it in the
I
church?
started singing before I spoke.
Okay.
And the only reason I know that to be true is because my cousin Kadir's mother, who is my guru, my muti, Emily Diane Gunter, esteemed author and educator of Super Learning 3000. Actually, it's Kadir's illustrations from when he was like 14 years old that she still uses in the books, his first lithographs. She told me that I sang before I spoke, and she
Okay.
used to listen to me sing
Now, if
when
I'm
I
not
was a
mistaken,
girl.
didn't Kadir do a lot of stamp art? Like his artwork is displayed
Yes,
in
they're
stamp.
national stamps.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
He's one of the highest awarded artists to win NAACP awards.
Yeah. So as you can see, people out there, please hit the like button and
I
share and
also draw.
subscribe. Oh man. Oh, we gotta talk about that. We gotta talk about that. Okay, I'm gonna get away from
And
the
I
question
paint,
if I.
and I
Okay, so
do
what?
rubbings for
So what do you?
epitaphs and
So what are your
collages.
topics? What are your topics when as far as drawing and painting? What do you do?
I draw life.
Okay, you go from life.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Once upon a time when I was on tour, I was bored, and I started picking my favorite half of someone's face, and I just started doing sketches of my
Hmm.
favorite half of the face. And I got everybody on the bus, and I turned it into a collage.
Hmm.
And it was just
Okay.
the half faces. And because a lot of people don't realize your face isn't identical.
Right.
What's
You
here
know,
and
one
what's
lady.
here is different.
I'm gonna give you something to blow your mind. It's a lady that had to be about maybe 80 something years old. You know how because since you do this now you understand. You know how you just sit there and you don't have much to do. You just draw faces out of your mind,
Yeah,
and they look like a certain person.
yeah.
And this lady, her name was Lydia, and she put her hand on my shoulder and whispered in my ear. She said, "Whenever you drawing these faces, these are the ancestors talking to you." I
Mm.
started looking at them and looking around. I said, "Okay," because I've been doing it all my life. Just drawing. Just out of my head, just
That's the
making up people.
thing. You're not drawing dreams, you're drawing memories.
Yeah, past lives, all this stuff. So she went in. So now I'm more self conscious now when I do it. I'm always thinking like, okay, was this 5 years
That's what the
ago?
thing is when it comes to pictures. The natives believed that if someone took your picture, they were trying to steal your soul.
Yeah, I heard that before. I heard that before. But yeah, we'll get into. Would you one day? Would you like to do some drawing on video?
Maybe.
Okay, we'll talk about that. That'll be fun. Um, so the next one is, who inspired you in your profession? You know, who did you hear and said, "Man, I want to be just like that."
Phyllis Hyman, Tina Turner, Patti
Okay.
LaBelle,
Mm-hmm.
Aretha Franklin, Billie
Mm-hmm.
Holiday, Sarah Vaughan,
Mm.
Nina Simone, particularly as I got older.
Okay. You named all the heavyweights there. Okay.
That's who I studied.
Yeah. Now, so actually, you can actually somebody can put a sheet music in front of you. You can read the notes and stuff and blow
I
it out
played
the water in
concert
the screen.
piano until I was almost 14.
Man, you are
And then I
blessed.
quit.
Oh, okay.
Got
You're
into a
still
fight with
blessed.
my dad, and I said, I'm never touching that thing again.
Okay. Okay.
Big mistake. But when I choose to sit down at a piano, it's still there. I think
Mm.
that's why I always got upset with people making such a big deal about Alicia Keys,
Uh-huh.
because
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying that there isn't some talent there, but to call someone a genius, they should earn that title.
Right. Understood. But
There's a
that's
lot of people that
but,
think that just because a company gets behind you, that makes you special. It
but
doesn't.
that's Clive Davis, right? Didn't wasn't he behind her?
Yeah, he invented
Yeah.
her after
Yeah.
Jermaine Dupri failed trying to make her.
Okay. I didn't know he was involved with her
She
career as
was
well.
signed to So Def first.
Okay.
If you go back and look at old BET clips, there was a So Def Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
and Jermaine Dupri introduced Alicia Keys, and she did Little Drummer Boy.
Wow. I am so behind on that one.
And
And I'm
she
old in
sang
Methuselah.
off key then too.
We gonna get into that.
And
That's why I say you remind me of Shaka Khan because you don't pull no punches.
well, it's true.
Uh
As a woman who grew up playing piano and whose ear was tuned by piano and horns, which is why I'm pitch perfect. It doesn't make any sense for you to be called a musical genius,
huh. Mm-hmm.
play the piano, and you still can't manage to sing in the same key you play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She just did a whole tutorial on the breakdown of the vocals and the vocal arrangements for Fallen. And you know what she did? She sat there and let the vocals play while she said, see, and this is where it goes to here. And this is a true singer would have just sang along. Matter
Right.
of fact, a real singer would have said, hey, turn off the playback. Let me show you this.
Yeah, that's true.
How do you teach a master class without actually teaching?
Yeah.
That's not a
Yeah.
master. That's a hack.
Yeah. I
And
always
Clive
got to draw
Davis
something.
needed that so bad because he had just gotten moved around and J Records was his big thing. And he was banking it on Angie. Like he did the same thing with J Records that Diddy did with Bad Boy,
Uh huh.
except for when it comes to J Records. Angie Stone was Craig Mack and Alicia
Mm-hmm.
Keys was Biggie Smalls.
See, take
Same thing.
notes, everybody. She's breaking down history. Go ahead.
Same thing. They built all of that on Angie Stone's back. And to sit there and think of how they sabotaged her right in her face, and I would know because the person that was the head of her marketing over there at J Records is an old friend of mine who handled my marketing right before I left Geffen, Sheila Coates.
Okay.
And Sheila quit because she wasn't going to stand by and watch them trash Angie. There were promises made that Angie was always going to be regarded well and taken care of at J Records.
Mm-hmm.
And, Clive did what he always did. He lied. Sheila left. She left. And now she has her own thing called BYOB, Be Your Own Brand, because she never wanted to see what happened to Angie happen to any other artist.
Right.
And the labels weren't going to let her help. Salute to Sheila Coates.
So
Amazing
we
woman.
so we'll remember
Hell
that
of
name,
an
Sheila Coates.
executive. Yeah. She's one of the unsung heroes. You hear them talk about Sylvia Rhone. You hear them talk about Kathy Hughes. You hear them talk about Deanna Williams. You hear them talk about Susan DePass. But there are some real ones that were forced to put their integrity over the money, who should be recognized for everything. She's old school record industry business, old school good black business,
Mm-hmm.
which is wild. So you got to imagine what that must have been like for Angie Stone, because the truth is, if anyone is the mother of neo soul, it's Angie.
We're gonna get into that too, because
No,
that's
Angie is the mother of neo soul. Period. Everyone knows it. Like, if I were a duplicitous person, I would probably take credit for it.
mm-hmm.
But I can't, because it was Angie. You know, after BNGB and after the Double Dutch Bus and all of that stuff, Angie was rhyming and singing the entire time. And for people like Missy Elliott to turn it into a gimmick, like Lauryn Hill to turn it into a gimmick, like all of the other women who were rapping and singing to turn it into a gimmick and not pay homage to her the way people pay homage to Beyonce is crazy.
Yeah, understood.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. That's crazy work. Nobody
Yeah.
thanks Angie for what she made popular
Yeah.
at all.
Heavyweight.
And then
Heavyweight. Go ahead.
after she started making her transition out of doing the rap gig and into going full singing and songwriting and arranging, people keep forgetting she was in that group Vertical Hold. And at that time, you had those, it was the club era where music was club and soul all mixed together. You had groups like Soul to Soul with Karen
Mm-hmm.
Willer. You had groups like Loose Ends, and Saida
Mm-hmm.
Garrett was a part of that at one time. And you had Vertical Hold with
Mm-hmm.
Angie Stone. And then what's the other group that I was talking about that was big at that time? Mesa, with Mesa. Incognito.
Incognito. Yeah, with Bluey. Uh-huh.
Exactly. And he screwed her over and took all of her music and left her for dead too. And's been living off of the royalties of all of her hard work for many years. Shout out to my girl Mesa Leaks.
Oh, the
But,
African singer, right? She's
huh?
good. That sister from Africa, some part of
No,
Africa.
Mesa is American.
Oh, I did not know that.
Karen Wheeler
Okay.
is Jamaican from London.
Okay, I got you.
Saida Garrett wrote with Michael Jackson. She helped write Man in the Mirror. And Angie had Vertical Hold. And then that's when the resurgence of soul was starting to make a play, and hip hop and New Jack Swing and all of that was out there. And Angie had been a part of every last one of these movements. So when they brought her in to write for a new up and coming artist that Jodeci brought up from,
Mm-hmm.
Virginia, from Richmond, named D'Angelo, probably
Mm-hmm.
some of the finest work she's ever done and will ever do is the Brown Sugar album. She ghost wrote that album, she arranged that album, and she sang backgrounds and never got any of the credit for it.
Wow.
Why has nobody bothered to realize that the reason why D'Angelo hasn't been able to put out another project like Brown Sugar is because he lost access, or should I say he refused access to the muse that made all of that happen.
Yeah, he did a lot of remakes, huh? After that.
Unfortunately, they were all sleeping together. So, she was
Yeah.
30, he was 18. It was a mess.
And she had a child bond, right?
Yeah. And he's autistic.
I did not know that.
Have you seen little
D'Angelo.
Michael? He's big as a house.
Oh, the baby. Okay, his
He ain't
son.
no baby. That's a big
Okay. Well,
nigga.
to us, baby Huey. Okay.
Big baby gonna shoot Rosewood style.
Right. Supper's ready. Okay, so we kind of skip some because that's the stuff I was going to ask later, but we'll get back to it. But
But
I
yeah, all of
appreciate.
that being said, the reason why the neo soul movement did what it did was because of Angie Stone.
Oh wow.
And for all of
Yeah.
the things that I could disagree with Angie about, somebody's got to tell the truth. Angie Stoll is the mother of neo soul. And then
Wow.
Clive Davis chewed her up and threw her out. And now they stealing all her royalties and everything too, just like the Jigga Man doing to me.
Wow.
Just like that weirdo from Incognito did to Mesa. Why is it that black men are so hot to use black women up and then discard them and then tell everyone that they're crazy or they're nuts? Like, it's so funny when I hear people say stuff to me like, oh, she just bringing black people down. What about all the other black people that been bringing black people down? You ain't gonna say nothing about them?
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm just sick and tired of black men turning their backs on their black muses for their white girlfriends and their fake lives.
That kind of remind me of Prince and Vanity. Remember that? That's their you know what I'm talking about? When they broke up, his music was never the same.
She
It was good.
was pure magic for him. And no matter how many times he tried to recreate it, it just...
Yeah.
And now they're
When
both gone.
Yeah. I heard they were still considered soulmates before they passed.
Oh no. Up until the day Prince Rogers Nelson was good like that. Even after all of the hell that he went through with Rosie Gaines and all of the fallout from New Power Generation, do you know up until he passed away, he was still sending money? He had cut almost $250,000. That was... We raised money when we found out that Rosie was in that homeless shelter in Lancaster. Everyone still thought she was in Paris. She went over there, got involved with some witchcraft people, and never came back the same.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
And it was Prince that held her and sustained her while he was still here. And salute to Rosie Gaines.
Yeah. We found out a lot about him after he passed.
Huh?
Yeah, she was good. That's what I was saying. We found out way more about Prince after he passed than when he was alive. It was...
Nobody told the truth. Yeah. Just like they lie about me.
Yeah, we're going to get into that. But please hit the like button, share, subscribe. And then you guys see her Cash App up there. She's giving y'all a lot of games. So please give her some love. It's right there in the pinup. So click on that pinup link and show her some love. So we're going to go right back in time a little bit and ask, what kind of support did you receive at that time? You know, when you were getting into like the, you know, singing and...
None.
Oh, wow. Could you go into that?
My father did not want me to go into the industry. He didn't like what it did to my granddad, and he didn't want it for me. I made it into Juilliard. I wasn't allowed to go. I wasn't allowed to go to Kappa, which was our art school in Philadelphia, where Amel LaRue from Groove Theory went, where Questlove went. I wasn't allowed to go. My dad told me I wasn't going to study just to become another music bum, that I was supposed to be a corporate litigator.
Oh, wow. See? And it still happened today, as you know, in all different types of arts.
Want to know what's funny? 8 years after that, my father became the head of my fan club president.
They be in there ribbon cutting and taking all the pictures. I'm like, wait a minute.
And he said, well, you made it through, so let's make it work.
Right. I hear that a lot. I knew you can do it. Like what? But you didn't want me to do this type of thing here.
I got no support. Everything that I did for my career was self-generated. Um, I studio rat. I wanted it.
Yeah.
And I was in the streets heavy, and I didn't want that.
So how
I
was your
guess that's why
demo?
it all hurts so much.
How was your demo process? Were you doing your own thing, or were
Oh
you
yeah,
borrowing studio time, or
I worked.
okay,
I wrote hooks. I sang
okay,
hooks. Back then, I wasn't singing for profession. I was just emceeing. I sang for purse, for money, um, because I could. And I demoed a lot of records. And that's really how I got heavy into ghostwriting. But I exchanged. I've always been a barter and trade person. Jag, we need like 4 hooks for these songs we got going on. I would write the hooks. They would
hmm
give me the money, and then they would give me discounted, studio time.
hmm
And then even after I got my deal, because I'm such a fast cutter, I made a
hmm
deal with a lot of my engineers that whatever extra time was already paid for by,
hmm
the label, that they could use it to hustle and get their money, do their projects, do whatever they want to do. It was all
Wow.
paid for. And the agreement was whenever I need to come in and you push buttons, you push buttons.
Yeah.
I
It's
make
okay.
investments differently than most people.
What about distribution though? Like, if you were you like selling your stuff, or were you just like you said, just
Oh
only
no, I
writing
was
music?
trying to get a deal. It was either
Okay.
going to be the record deal or Broadway and then the record deal. I got sick and tired of Broadway. I got sick and
Okay.
tired of the auditioning process. I made it to understudy. My friend got the lead role that I wanted in Lion King, and I said, "Hell with it, I'm gonna go get a record deal," and that's what I did. Got signed to MCA. Steve Corbin signed
Okay.
me.
So that's where it's going. That's where it's segue into. So, oh, before we get
I
into
sat down
that,
with my Uncle Kenny to answer your
okay.
question that you almost asked. And I said to him, I can rhyme, I can sing, but everybody's using it as a gimmick and it shouldn't be.
hmm
Everybody wants credit for what they do, but
Yes.
nobody's really worried about being a real entertainer. What should I do, Uncle Kenny? And my Uncle Kenny Gamble looked at me and said, baby girl, pick a lane and drive steady. Just pick a
Now
lane and drive steady.
you guys heard the name she dropped. She said Kenny Gamble. That's her uncle from Gamble and Huff. So
Yeah.
she comes from royal. She has a royal bloodline in Philly. And just black music, period. But that's the Philly handle there. When you throw, I'm quite sure, Sister Jag, when you throw Kenny Gamble's name out there in Philly, people do like,
I don't
for
have to.
Leon Huff.
Everybody already knows what it is.
Yeah, just in
That's
general,
the
right?
beautiful
Like,
thing about my life.
hmm
I'm not a clout chaser. I'm really not worried about proving what I am and what I'm not. I am, you'll experience me, and you can make your own assumptions or choice or whatever.
hmm
But when I'm home, everyone knows I'm home. And
there you
I ain't
go.
got to say nothing.
There you go.
But then again, it's like that everywhere in my life in the world, except for on the internet.
Uh huh.
The internet is the only place in my life, for real, I experience hate.
Ooh.
And that's what's so interesting because it's all anonymous, you know?
Yeah.
It's just a
Yep.
bunch
It's
of
right.
weirdos, or maybe just a few weirdos pretending to be 100 people.
Yeah, that's why I had to strategically put your advertisement, because I think if I would have put it out there earlier,
Oh, the
it
trolls
would
would
have
have
been
been
all
there.
kind. Yeah, so I had to throw them off. So I give them. So if you're gonna do some trolling, you got 5 minutes to get your game up. I had to do it because that happened to me before. So,
Oh, they're
but
losing their minds.
we're gonna go into. I want you to really think about what was the most memorable moment growing up thin when it comes to what you like to do. Can you can
I
you
mean,
can
the
you
truth
jog back?
is, I do a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, there's nothing that I can't do when I put my mind to it. There's nothing I can't figure out.
Mm-hmm.
And when I realized that the music industry was worse than the streets, and
Mm.
that I was probably going to have to walk away and find another way to be me, I invested myself in all of those things. I'm a qualified chef tournade. Uh, Cooking is probably the only thing that I love doing as much as singing. I learned that from my father as well. We had a catering company.
Mm-hmm.
My dad had a lot of private businesses. We always was hustling. And I shoot pool.
Oh
I'm
wow.
actually an awarded pool player.
Get out
At
of
one
here.
point in time, I was ranked in the top 50 amateur women in the United States.
So let me get this straight. I know it's a stupid question, but you do trick shots?
Odell, what do you think about me playing pool?
Man, man, we gonna look and take ass and get it.
Oh,
So
Will Camp is here. Hi,
behind the
Will
back.
Camp.
Oh, man. No, Jack is a master man. No words when it comes
See,
to
y'all
sport.
gotta have that on video. That's the kind of stuff people want to see on video.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Him
That's
messing
gonna
and
be
shit.
tell them.
Best
Yeah,
pool
people
game I
talking.
ever played was against the Black Widow in Vegas, Jeanette Lee.
Okay, okay.
9 ball.
Mm.
And she was mad. Who is this three from Philly shooting like this? That y'all, she ain't no three, she a 5.
We gotta get the man. Gotta come on, Wolf. We gotta get that on video.
We'll make it happen.
That's a big one. That's a big one. So now we're gonna get into what the lane that you were talking about here. Get a little bit juicy now. How did you get in the music industry? I remember your Coca. I bought your CD soon as I saw that Coca-Cola commercial. I said, I don't care what's on that album, I'm getting it. Okay. So
Well, I hope you're
when I
happy with
see
what you
you,
got.
yeah, when I see you, I gotta get that signed. Cause
Not a problem.
man, because I wish that the ending of that song, I wish it was longer. That's just me. When you were just really going off, I'm like, man, it could have been longer. It's just like Wishing on the Star when they had the drum part. I'm like, why is that so short? Why is it fading away?
Ear candy.
I mean, I could even get a reprise of that thing only, but that's just me, y'all. I'm
Yeah.
weird like that.
Alicia Keys and Tweet are still mad that I beat them out while I was pregnant with Sam for that commercial. Because Alicia Keys wanted that commercial and Tweet
Really?
wanted that commercial. And when they found out that I was pregnant and I still got the commercial, they were mad.
Yeah, you came out of nowhere with that hat. You hitting that microphone. I remember. I remember it like it was yesterday. And I'm like, dang. I'm just because I was a neo soul junkie at the time. I'm like, anything neo soul, I'm just gonna buy it. So as
They
soon as
worked
yours was
hard to
introduced,
suppress me
oh wow,
because they
okay,
knew I was going to take it over.
yeah. And like I said, you got the pipes. You got the pipes. You can't ignore it.
But I also have the lyrics and I also have the
Lyrics.
ability and the skill. I'm also a producer and a band leader, musical director.
Right. Yeah, we're going to get into all of that.
How did I get in?
Yes, that's what we're going to get back into.
I kicked the door down until they had no choice but to let me in.
Okay.
MCA been blocking me. Hank Shockley
Hank
have been
Shockley
blocking me for years.
from
Telling
Public Enemy.
me and Mary J. Blige look too much alike and they weren't looking for another Mary. And I said, number one, she has a scar on her face. And number two, she can't do what I can do.
Yeah, Shaka was hard on her.
And Hank looked at me and said, that's why you're not getting signed.
Wow, I'm surprised.
Hank and Shockley? Then his boss in LA, the real black man in charge, Steve Corbin signed me from a live performance. I'm one of the only artists to sign to a major label without actually giving a demo or a demo project. No, I got signed off of live performance.
Okay, shout out to you.
Steve Corbin flew out to from LA to Philadelphia, came down to Bank Street to Black Lily, saw my set
Hmm.
and said, have her in LA next week. I'm signing her.
Wow. See,
And they gave him crap for doing that.
see,
He stood in the gap until he got sick. And
how did Hank Shockley get involved with music? Because he was more like hip hop, wasn't he?
Hank Shockley was a plant no different than Chris Lighty.
Got you,
And Shockley
got
was
you.
just a little luckier than Chris Lighty. Because people still
Okay.
think he killed himself and he didn't.
Uh-oh. Oh, that's the guy that was like part of Puffy's circle,
Just
right?
like Shakir.
Okay. Yeah, you talked about him for a while.
You know, Shakir
I
Stewart,
remember that. I remember that.
ex-lover of Kim Porter, Diddy baby mama.
Yeah, that's some deep stuff, but we'll get into that. Now, did you have who was your competition? Would you name a few that they felt that, hey, I gotta, because you mentioned Alicia Keys,
I
that's
don't
far
have
as
competition.
like, or would you consider like rivals maybe, or
I don't
someone
have
that felt that
rivals.
they
My
they
greatest
deserve?
competition and rival is myself.
Okay, I heard that.
I'm always
Okay,
busy trying to top me. I don't even think
okay.
about those people. They think about me.
So you didn't have the Mary Wilson versus Diana Ross type of dynamic.
No, I had a lot of people trying to compete with me.
That's what I want to know. That's the part
I never
where,
saw it as competition. I know what inferior looks like when I see it.
okay.
Why would I, in all that I am, need to compete with people that I know are lesser than me?
Y'all hear that, y'all? That's what wisdom right there. Go ahead.
I was worried
That's,
about being the best me. I was worried about topping me. I was worried about being better, stronger, see, and that's why they had a problem with me. Because most of the girls, they come into the game ready for a cat fight.
mm,
And there was
okay.
no fight for me. There was
So you,
just match me or do better. And none of
so you
them
took
can.
you took the shenanigans away from them by you being you.
Yeah.
They had
And
no
that's why
excuse.
they hated me. Because they knew we can't control her.
Oh, ooh, that's gonna be another one, right? Because that goes into my Ray Charles question. Um, so here's a fun part here. Well, this is more like this. I hope people like taking notes because you're giving a lot of wisdom. Please hit that Cash App for Sister Jag, and then it's displayed right there on her screen. Right there, it says $Jag Bread 2. So either you can type it yourself, or you can click on the pin right there under the screen of where we're talking. Because man, this we don't get this anywhere else. This is I feel this is a blessing from her. I do. Now, how would you connect? How are you connected to Philadelphia music legacy? Because you mentioned your uncle. So any other thing that you want to add that just
I
give
grew
us
up with
that?
all of the greats.
Okay, give it to us.
I started interning and emptying trash cans at
Hmm.
Philly International when I was 11, 12 years old. It was Bunny Sigler that actually asked me to sing Love, Need, and Want for my first album. And I told him no. I said, it's an Aunt Patty record. If I get it wrong, they're all going to hate me. I can't do it. And then I went to go see Uncle Kenny at Philly International. He said, baby, sing the record.
Mm,
So I went into the
okay.
studio, me and Scott Storch, Randy Bolin on guitar, and Richard Nichols, my late manager, did a great job with the production and turned out
Okay.
fabulous. And then I
Wow.
heard
Hmm.
Patty say, that damn Jaguar is a singing ass fool.
That's a lot for Patty, right? I heard about her too.
She approved of me and Kiki doing her records. And regardless of
Yeah.
what she said in public, she really didn't like the fact that they chose to let Kelly Rowland sing the line rather than just using the sample, because that Nelly record, it was inspired by the sample from my album. And instead they got Kelly Rowland to sing it. So it wouldn't look like Beyonce was trying to cut me off.
Wow. So you have a lot to share with us here.
It's no different than what Amir did to Jill Scott when she was on the record and she thought she was going to be hearing herself on the radio on Power 99 and she woke up and it was Erica Badu.
Hmm.
Want to know what's even wilder? Sitting in the studio with the engineer who showed me the Jill Scott 2-inch tape
Uh-huh.
where Amir told him, trash it, we're going with Erica.
Oh, wow.
I'm sitting there
Uh-huh.
looking at the evidence of obvious betrayal from Amir Questlove Thompson. And Jill is so pathetic, she's still doing that damn Roots picnic.
Oh, God.
She actually told the story like it was some kind of badge of honor that they're all still friends.
Now, all these names here, but would you consider, would it be fair to say that you played a hand in the growth of neo soul? Because I know you give a lot of
Absolutely.
people credit. Can
I
you
put
give
Neo
us some?
Soul on my back and I made it real.
There you go.
And then Clive Davis slid in Alicia Keys with cornrows and sucked up all the energy from Neo Soul to put into that quack. While he
'Cause
sidelined the true mother of Neo Soul in her
so
face.
now, according to Philly standards, she didn't really pay her dues, did she?
Who?
She was Alicia Keys was
He
part of
paid
Neo
no
Soul.
dues.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I heard that before.
Clive Davis cashed out $20 million of his retirement money that he got when they kicked his ass out of Arista. Used it to create J Records and then paid for the most brilliant marketing campaign for that pimple-faced punk ass bitch
Oh, God.
who still can't sing in the right key with all of those years of playing piano, who steals people's husbands while she's staying in their house and then pays them money to pretend like it was okay that she took her husband.
Wow.
But then again, they both gay anyway, so.
Ooh, you happy?
They're very happy.
Woo.
Together.
Oh my God. So here's another. I knew you were gonna do this to me. Okay. It said, how about this one here? How did Neo Soul
Sounds like
grow?
all she did was help him out of a relationship he didn't want to be in no more. Guess he got sick and tired. Because see, he can do the booty stuff with Alicia.
Damn.
Uh-oh.
Like, I don't think people really understand why these weirdos link up. Because they're weird, don't offend each other.
So it's weird on weird connection.
That's why they get rid of the people that they come with and pick industry people, because they know that the real people gonna run it like, this niggas is strange. Look at Diddy Jr. Look at Neo. That's what his baby mom called him, Diddy Jr.
That is weird. Oh my God.
She had to come over to the house. He's so busy freaking off with his fake 3 wives, high on Tootsie. She had to come over there with him and the hoes and remind them to feed their kids.
Oh my God.
See, he couldn't keep her around because she wanted the right thing. He got the freak off girl around. Sitting there watching the children starve while they high and screwing. Yeah,
man, that's their business there, boy. That's what they do.
Listening to Champagne Life.
Ooh, Lord. But hey, at least we get an inside word on what's going on. So we'll, remember how I talked about Shaka and how she talks. So at least we get to get an understanding behind the product. It's like, okay, that's what they're doing. That's what they're about. All right. I saw Puffy. Remember Chris Spencer when he had the show Vibe?
Yeah.
I think he took over.
Barely. It's a long time ago.
Yeah, I met Puffy on that show. Him and 112, and Puffy he looked like he gotta be like 5 feet. Dude was like super short. This is right after Biggie
Why did you
passed.
say that?
Just right after
112.
that. Yeah,
112.
yeah, I saw them together backstage. Cause
There's a
Shaq,
survivor
that's
that I'm working with. She
hmm
finally disclosed to me after all of these years of knowing her that she was SA'd by 112.
ooh, not surprised. You're not
Mm,
surprised.
mm.
And all this stuff, and we would never
It
know. I mean,
wasn't Q. You know, he's sweet.
okay, yeah, those guys.
She was a child. She's around the same age as that Diddy Jane Doe that Jay-Z's now tied to in a hotel suite, unattended. And it was parents that sent 112 up there to go party with those girls. They didn't even know that they weren't teenagers. They didn't find out till later that they were all grown men.
And this in the '90s, right?
No,
Early 2000s.
2000s,
late 90s.
late '90s.
Late 90s. Right when
Yeah.
Drew Hill's Tell Me What You Want
Mm,
was blowing up
mm.
and Cisco was chasing Dave Hollister all over the place and calling our roommate because I was kicking it with Dave at the time. Me and Dave was dating and we was in the hotel room and Cisco
Wow.
just keep on calling. Dave, can I come up there? He said, I'm here. I'm here with Jag. I'm here with my girl. Like, what you doing? And he just kept calling. Cisco must have called about 6 times and I picked up the phone. I said, nigga, go find someone else.
He's taken.
At least for that night he was. I tell you. And meanwhile, while Cisco is sitting there chasing Dave Hollister, few of the bandmates was partying with underage girls in that same hotel. If I had known that that was going on, I would have busted in that door my damn self that night.
hmm
No. But some of the mothers did. And they were all grooming their girls to get a celebrity husband.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
hmm
I wish I could tell you who it is. But everyone's going to find out soon enough on the Jaguar Wright show.
All right. And that show that link is right there in the description box. When she does her shows and her channel, everything is in the description box. If you want to know, it's all
Thanks,
there.
Greg.
So we trying to keep you circulated because it seemed like you all we got. So we got to keep you
Definitely
going,
last
sister.
of the Mohicans.
That's right. You heard Dr. Short, so it was like, okay, yeah, we
I
listening.
can't wait to spend more time with him. I have a feeling he and I are going to become good friends.
Oh, he's a real solid brother. So I've been
Honey,
knowing
could
him
you
for
give me that
years.
glass, right?
You want me to fix
So so we're going to get into
I actually like this aspect that you're going with of me.
yeah, because this is stuff that we want this to be something to where you can play in schools. We want people to learn from what you're saying. Overall, because the things that you telling us, this is stuff that like if you're not around, then at least we have this on record to speak for you. Okay,
Well, that's the
so we.
whole point. You
Mhm.
know, I think people are most confused with what they think is my lack of respect for mortality. I think people think that I have a death wish or something, and that's not true. What I believe is that whatever amount of time you have here, it is your job to do all that you can with that time. I don't
Yeah.
worry about when I'm going to die. What I worry about is what I'm going to get done before I die.
All right, so I'm gonna start skipping. Since you like skipping my stuff, I'm gonna skip because this goes right into the category that I was gonna ask.
Oh.
So here we go. So since you mentioned that, if I was to write a section in a history book about Jaguar Wright, what would be some of the things I would read?
So I was afraid, I was never scared.
Okay. Okay.
It was never about the glory. It was about the exaltation of the gift.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of respect that I have for true artistry and craft,
Mm-hmm.
and my desperate longing for the future to finally be in its own hands.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if there was someone out there like Patti LaBelle or Phyllis Hyman screaming from the rooftops like I am now when I was coming up? How different my career could have been.
Yeah.
Instead, I got the warnings: just avoid him. Don't talk to her. Don't drink when you're with them. Make sure you leave sober. Like,
Yeah. That is quite a shocker, especially
that's,
when you knew.
and it was also common knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because people have been there before, and so you try not to follow those footsteps. You would say.
There's no reason why Patti LaBelle, me, and another artist that I worked with that's about 15, 20 years younger than me all have one of the same assailants.
Mm.
Mm.
Patty's 20 some odd years older than me. The young woman who I'm protecting her identity is 20 years younger than me. And all of us have the same assailant, and he's a music industry executive.
Wow. See.
That shouldn't be. That shouldn't be. For
Yeah.
the same predator to be allowed to actively hunt for decades, for over 40 years, and never be apprehended, and everyone knows who it is. It's like the weirdo uncle in your family that everyone says, don't go over his house alone. Don't ever talk to him. Don't sit on his lap. You know,
Yeah. That's. Yeah. I mean,
we
unfortunately,
got a
we hear that
lot
a
of
lot.
those weird uncles and aunties in the industry. Diana Ross
Now,
is probably one of the worst.
yeah. Quiet as it's kept, I can say it now. You know, her son tried to hit on one of my fraternity brothers
Oh shit.
You
in
talking about that
Vegas.
little weirdo that was in Life is Hot in Cracktown?
Yeah, that guy.
That little meat,
I'm,
that maniac?
I'm like, get out of here. I said, him?
That boy is all kinds of freaked out. You talking about Evan? I
Yeah, I
know
didn't know his
exactly who you
name.
talking about, Bussy boy.
Oh god.
I was like, wow, man.
Did you ever see that movie he did with Kerry Washington? Life is Hot in Cracktown?
I just remember, wasn't he on ATL?
Yeah? You didn't
Yeah,
answer my
yeah.
question.
I never saw that one. No,
You
I never
never
saw it.
seen Life is Hot in
I'm
Cracktown?
gonna send it to you, Art.
Okay. No, I'm afraid. I'm afraid
I
to watch
want you
it,
to
but
watch the
I'll go.
first 8 minutes of that movie and tell your friend he got off easy.
I'm gonna call him today too. This is in Vegas, by the way, too. I
Because
was
I
like,
don't
oh,
believe that boy was acting in that film. He was every kind of demon child you could think of.
he sold it better than Will Smith in that his first movie.
Mm.
Sold it better than Will Smith.
So shit.
I'm telling you something right now. I think they based some of the characters off of power around that performance he
Ooh,
did.
Mm.
ooh, okay.
The movie starts with him approaching one of his little things, little young Philly thing. And then she doesn't want to talk to him. And then he makes her go off into alleyway somewhere with abandoned cars and trash and cracked vials, broken glass everywhere. The message, and then he tries to convince the girl to let all of his friends run a train on her.
Oh.
And then when she didn't want to go along with it, they took it anyway. That's how the movie starts.
Ooh. Okay.
Evan Ross. He also unalived an elderly man in that movie. Yeah.
Wow.
And sat in the house with his corpse for days, hiding because somebody else was trying to get it. Like, that was the movie. Life is Hot in Cracktown. Kerry Washington played a trans woman, man.
Uh-huh.
Well, she was a trans woman, so she was playing a man that was becoming a woman. She had a white boyfriend who wanted to kill her every other day. They would get high and he loved her, and as soon as he gets sober, he'd be plotting to kill her.
Kerry Washington.
I'm sorry, I mean unalive her. She was tucking it and everything. She even had the tranny makeup. I'm telling you, T.S. Madison would be very proud. The way Kerry Washington played that trans. Fix me up, daddy.
Yeah, she worked hard for them roles. Oh,
see, that was their Sacrifice movie.
Okay.
Because
was
right
that one of
after
their early
that,
movies?
she got Scandal.
So that's before Scandal. Okay.
It was before Scandal and after Ray.
Okay.
Now, she had a principal character in Ray, but the star was Regina King.
Oh, yeah. Hit the road, Jack.
Yep.
Yeah, matter of fact.
Had hit that ceiling.
Yeah,
being in
sure
common
did.
music videos and whatnot. And then next thing you know, she did Life is Hot in Cracktown with the Demon Seed, Evan Ross. And then now she's Olivia Pope.
Yeah. Living Kamala Harris's dream, huh?
Oh, damn.
You didn't hear that from me. I didn't mean to say
Joe
that.
Biden is asleep. And Kamala is at a dance party with Beyonce.
But she's black. She's black. Sometimes she's Indian, but she's black. But yeah.
Well, I mean, as Barry Santoro. He would know.
Yeah.
He's a little more black than her. At least he African.
Yeah, and he can shoot basketball. So it's, I mean, what more can you do?
So can Cat Williams.
Cat Williams, oh my God.
And Cat Williams will dominate Barry on the court.
I believe it.
I watched Cat Williams damn near dunk on Snoop.
What?
That man is a foot and a half taller than him.
Okay.
You can't give Cat no work on the basketball court. I watched it for myself in Atlanta at the studio with DJ Drama that day that T.I. roughed up his wife Tiny.
Tiny. But let me get to this one here.
Now they got a little tiny grandbaby.
Yeah, her nose is tiny now. I shouldn't have said that.
But it's tinier. I don't think you could ever get her to the Jackson family status. I don't think that
she won't be able to breathe.
But
Bell pepper.
What really pissed me off about Tiny? Tiny is actually more talented than Candy.
Okay.
Tiny was actually the most talented person in her group overall. Latasha had a voice, but Latasha's not interesting. It's like watching Marsha Ambrosius perform.
Yeah. But yeah,
I mean, let's just be honest. There's a lot of girls out there that got a voice, and they're not interesting to watch.
Yeah, that's true. Well, they saturate.
And Latasha's just one of them. She's nice to listen to, but she's no fun to watch. But Tiny, man, when they first started, Tiny had that fire. She had that drive. The truth is, I believe that a lot of the songs that Candy got credit for writing, I think Tiny helped her.
Okay. Okay.
You know,
So what?
Tiny,
Uh-huh.
real talented. But she did the Sluminati game. She started having sex with a little 15-year-old boy
Ooh,
when she's
her
about
too.
23 and a half, going on 24. His name is Tip Harris.
Shit.
I guess everybody's forgetting that when Tip started screwing his wife, he was 15, 16, and she was a grown-ass woman, just like Mary J. Blige was screwing on Danny Boy when he was 15, 16, and she was in her mid-20s.
Now, didn't Jewel hook that up? You remember Jewel, the singer with Death Row Records?
You talking about Jewel, who was
Woman to woman.
which Jewel? The rapper?
Jewel. I
Jewel?
think she was a rapper or a singer, but she with
Yeah,
Death Row
she's the
Records.
one that introduced Danny Boy to Mary.
Exactly. That's what I heard. Yeah. But yeah. Now going back to neo soul, because I think because some people got all these different misconceptions about it.
Yeah.
Now, how
It
did
was a
neo soul?
hoax.
How did it grow? I mean, was there?
It
I
was
mean,
a
how was the
hoax.
growth? And how did it get its recognition? Would it be through the industry? Well, I mean, how did? I
It
mean,
was
how did people?
us. It was Black Lily.
Okay. Okay.
And we were a subset group of the Roots crew. I was a part of the Roots crew. And I was one of the lead vocalists and the mother of Black Lily. The only reason those
Okay.
bitches got better is because they had to compete with me every week. And
Now,
they
was there
never
a
thanked
club
me
in
for it.
Philly? Wasn't there a
Yeah.
club in Philly?
Yeah,
What
it
was
was
the
called the
club's name?
Five Spot. It went down Jewish Lightning after the owner had left the club one night. He had been drinking and he took out a family. And right before the family was about to claim the property, Jewish Lightning hit. And the Five Spot was gone, where the legendary Black Lily. Did I ever tell you about the time when Janet came to Black Lily?
No, not at all. You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, Janet came to Black Lily and Amir was acting like he brought Jesus. And
Now,
Janet
Amir,
just sat around. She didn't perform. She just sat and watched. And she said, I love the female energy here. Don't let this die.
okay. So, like, basically, if you had to really get on the map in that particular genre,
You had to
had to go
start
through
at Black
Philly.
Lily. That's where Lettucey started.
Okay.
Lettucey had been around for a while, but they were having a very hard time pushing her. So
Now,
they
what
sent
about
it to
Glenn
Amir, and
Lewis?
Amir brought her to Black Lily. And the first time we hosted Lettucey as a voice for Black Lily was at Joe's Pub, down with my girl Jody. Michelle and Daniel Cello was a regular at that time. It was so funny because Beyonce came that night and she was in the bathroom, and Michelle checked her back up against the wall and was like, bitch, let's have a go.
Oh,
And Beyonce tried to act like she was scared.
oh man.
And she went running out the bathroom, and I came in and I said, Michelle took a bump off the counter.
Oh,
I said,
Was
Michelle,
this
what you done to that little Destiny Child? And
was
she said, I don't know why that bitch is fronting. She knows she like it.
was this
I
the
was like,
Michelle with the this was Michelle with the hair, or was she
with the bald.
with the
Yeah.
ball?
This
She was
was right
bald
when
head.
she was
Okay.
going bald. Yeah. This is right after they had stopped calling her bisexual and she had came full on out. She said, I don't know why that bitch plays. She knows she like it.
Was it let me run my hand through your dreadlocks? That was one of the
Yeah.
yeah,
Or through your lace front.
yeah, that was her. I mentioned Glenn Lewis because he's from Canada. I mean,
Yeah, but
did he make
he
it through
developed in Philadelphia.
in Philly?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my
So
little
who
brother.
okay. But Music
Always.
Soul Child, he's from Philly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Music
He
Soul
used to sleep
Child.
on my couch when he was homeless, when he wouldn't sell no books for Dr. York.
Oh, he was a Balawian? Not a Balawian, but what do you call those people?
Holy Tabernacle. Ansars.
It's called
The Holy
something
Tab. The Ansars.
some
Dr. York.
ink. Yeah, Ansar, the Sons of the Green Light, and
Malachi Z. York.
yeah, it was a
The
name that
black,
they had.
he is, people don't give him the credit he deserves. He is the black L. Ron Hubbard.
Okay. Yeah, it was some Nuwabians. That's what it was. The
Yeah,
Nuwabians.
he had a bunch of different stuff. You should see all of the pictures of all the historic figures in time.
They all look like
Moses
him.
and Yeshua and everybody, they all look like him.
Right. I remember them little
And they get to
pamphlets.
live for free, but they got to sell his books. And when Music got his deal, man, Holy Tab ran down on his pockets.
Wow.
But yeah, I used to
Yeah.
look out for Talib because that's Music's real name, Talib. And
Okay.
he was one of my little youngins, my little young brothers in the street. And he would come to the cipher when we would be at the last drop or at the Supreme Bean coffee shops,
Hmm.
around the South Street area. He used to let us come in after hours and have our ciphers on the street
Okay.
in the place so the cops wouldn't mess with us. So we didn't have to break the vibe.
Right.
And Music would always want to rap. And they say, man, I'm like, man, just beatbox and sing. Just beatbox and sing. Cause I was the MC.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing that because I'm early 50s, so I'm up there. And I was real young too. I was considered young back then, right? But I remember the Roots first they came with that first album. What was that, 93 or 94?
90.
Do you want more?
Do You Want More was 94,
93.
95.
93.
93. Yeah, no, because it
93.
didn't break until 95.
But
Well, late 94. And then that's when we came back with Clones.
Yeah.
And that's when I had first started associating with them. But I didn't become an official member of the crew till right before Things Fall Apart happened. So I
Okay.
came in that in between section. And then that's when the Roots were able to finally go mainstream.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder, would they have made it that far without Malik B? Actually, I don't have to wonder. I know they wouldn't have.
Right. Because I was looking at, how everybody was sampling and doing beat machines and all that, but they did live music. And
Well,
that was the
yeah, what
part.
they did was recreate samples musically, but that wasn't their idea. That was Rich's idea. I mean, the
Okay.
truth is, the real Roots is Richard Nichols and John Smells.
Okay. Now, how
They played their role. They played their part.
how did I mean, any collabs would you like to share with us that you had fun with, any collabs?
You would have to ask because there's been a lot. Um, I performed in over 1,000 cities in my lifetime.
Yeah, which ones that pops that jumps out at you that you can that just
There's a lot of
change.
moments, a lot of
Okay.
great moments.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Jay-Z Unplugged is one.
Mm-hmm.
Us at Lincoln Center.
Mm-hmm.
Me at Madison Square Garden, period.
Yeah,
Shepherd's Bush.
because I want people in the chat to really hear this stuff because this is very
Sold
important.
all of my sold out nights at the Jazz Cafe in Camden Lot, South London. Me at the festivals, the Jazz Festival North. I mean, like, there's been so many great moments. Truth is,
Yeah,
I don't collect them. I live them and I move on. For me, it's always about the next moment.
you hear that, Wolf? That's another assignment.
Yep.
Do that collection, brother.
I got it.
See, this is the thing. My greatest goal in life. I've done a lot of traveling. I've been married, I've been in relationships, whatever. But I did most of it alone in a work capacity. Beautiful nights, wonderful. I did it alone. And now I have Odell. And my dream was to be able to go back and perform and to do all of that all over again with my witness to life by my side.
Okay. Yeah, that's.
I've had too many great moments alone. I can't wait to go and do them all over again with him.
There you go. There you go. Now,
Answer prayers.
there you go. Was wasn't the neo soul
It was a
connected
gimmick.
to, but was it connected to the conscious community?
No,
All that, sister,
it was an
brother.
illusion. Just
Okay.
like the Roots being socially conscious rappers, when the truth is they just like running gangbangs on arthritic sex kittens. Like Lumia, Jay-Z wearing the Che Guevara shirt,
Shit.
all of that was hiding to make the public think that they was on something else so they wouldn't realize that they weren't real thugs and hustlers. And so they went social conscious, and then they did the same thing with neo soul. The truth is, it should have never been called neo soul. Neo means
Okay.
new. There's nothing
Right.
new about soul. The second that they put neo into it, it separated us from the line of succession from all of the great
Yep.
soul artists before by calling it something new. When the truth is, the only thing that was different about it is that there was more hip hop influence, which came from jazz, which is all leads back,
Mm-hmm.
to soul.
Yep.
So to
Mm-hmm.
call it neo soul was nothing but a hustle. And it
Mm.
also made it a fad.
Mm.
And what do fads do? They wear out.
And
And
speaking
the
of
truth
that,
is, the most relevant neo soul community left in the world is in Japan, and they call it J Soul because they didn't even want to call it neo soul.
yeah, I got something for you. And me and some other people, we talked about this.
I
As
miss
you know,
performing in Japan.
yeah, it's coming back. They need you. I've been over there. They need you.
The world
But
needs me.
oh, for sure. Now I mean, I'm quite sure you noticed there's a growth of white people that claim this neo soul moniker. What's your take on
There's
that
a
for
there's
them
a
coming
growth
into
of
that?
black people claiming they're Latin, claiming responsibility for hip hop. People's always claiming stuff.
Wow, I haven't heard that before. I heard some bald headed
Joe,
fat dude
Fat
said,
Joe,
I'm
Fat
joking.
Joe talking about the Latins help invent hip hop, but he's white when he gets arrested. You got to make up your mind. You on that Kamala time.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
Meanwhile, how is he registering himself as Caucasian when he gets arrested and running around saying the N word?
Hmm.
Like
Heavily, heavily.
he's auditioning to be the next Paul Mooney to make his teeth whiter. I don't understand.
Hmm. Now let me ask you this before I forget. Is there any, like, based on your standards, like JAG standards, not just industry, but JAG standards?
Those are high
It,
standards.
yes, ma'am. Are there any new talent that we should look out for that that you recognize and say, hey, they doing it big, they doing it right?
I like Dochi. Tell her to put
Dochi?
clothes on. As talented as she is, she don't need to be naked.
She's dope as fuck. But yeah.
No, because
But-
as talented as she is, when I see her perform, all I want to do is get a stack of ones.
Okay.
You're not thinking about the music if you're looking at the crack of her behind. And she's
And
saying some real stuff.
mm, okay, and he
I
said
think
Dochi.
Dochi, yeah. People been telling me about it, and I watched the concert,
Okay.
and I said, I'm mad at her. How don't she know she ain't got to be naked?
Right. Right.
Man.
Ooh, wee.
Of course,
Now
I
me,
love Tom Misch.
Tom Misch. Okay.
I think he is the jazz equivalent of Jay Dilla in real time.
Oh man,
But
you
he's
threw a
white and
name out there.
British. He's British. I
Okay.
hate the fact that everywhere else in the world has more reverence and respect for what we do than us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Across the board.
America, they clap and they cheer for distractions and everywhere else in the world when we come, they're quiet when we perform and they're loud when we stop.
Or they try to be like us when we're not around. That's my
Well, we make
favorite.
it easy for them too. We're busy trying to be like them.
Or
Can't
something
be
new,
mad at
right?
somebody for picking up something you put down.
Yeah. And they get too comfortable. But hey, that's what we let it, we allow them, like you said, right?
We allow it.
Mm-hmm.
We are the only culture in America that allows ourselves to be constantly infiltrated and never, ever ask for respect.
Ain't that something?
If you want to be a part of what we are and we let you in, that's fine. But that doesn't mean we turning it over to you.
Can't co-opt it.
And I just want to say right now, what is it, Math Hoffa?
Oh, shit.
Yes. Go in, go in.
You just made
Yeah.
your granny very, very, very disappointed. Every Black person in your line wet the second that you sit there and let that informant, fraud, Caucasian man call us a bunch of you know whats, and you said nothing. He the new Charlemagne.
Mm.
I wonder when he gonna start getting them butt cakes printed out.
Yeah, the dude, and then on top of that,
What
he's
is wrong with these Black people? You're
no,
just sitting
it's,
around letting people clown your people.
and then make
Like,
excuses for it
once
too,
upon a
Joe.
time, that would have been a straight knuckle sandwich on
Sure
sight.
was.
And now we sit there and laugh.
Yeah. And make, like I said, and make excuses like the ER and the GA and all that
The
stuff. I'm
only
like,
excuse, the
really?
only excuse, there is no ER, there is no GA.
Right. I don't know why they come
It
up with
is
that.
what it is.
Thank you.
Our people are lost. We have literally now gotten to the point where we're living up to the title Lost Tribe of Shabazz.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's it.
We are lost.
That's it. We're
Lost.
definitely lost in the hells in the wilderness.
We want to sit up there, Black Power, till a white man come around.
Mm.
Then it's Black Cower.
Mm.
Yeah.
From Black Power to Black Cower. That's
And
a
you got
bar.
all the smoke for your people, but they want the ones that are really doing the damage. You look the other way. I mean, that's
Well,
that's been
that's the way
standard
the
at first.
government likes it.
Yeah,
You
you
know, we
playing your
got a
part.
Sammy Davis Jr. for every generation.
Oh,
That's right. So let me go into this part right here because I think you'll have fun with this part here. Please hit that like button,
Life is
share.
hot and crack town. I'm telling you, babe.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: musically, what are you doing these days? What should we look out for? Like, what's
Oh, I write all the time. I sing
uh-huh.
all the time. Actually, there's something that I tried on for my channel the other night, the Jaguar Wright effect. You were
Hmm.
asleep, I think, but crossed my mind. You know, I use that phrase, look both ways before you cross my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I think I figured it all out. I think
Okay.
I finally got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm. I want to hear what you got for that.
Yeah, because people need to
Mm.
know. Because
I was looking both ways before you crossed my mind. And you should look both ways before you cross my mind. I nearly got ran over by all the emotion left behind when you cross my mind. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Let's work that. Let's work that.
All right.
I was minding my business when you crossed my mind.
Yeah.
And you should no longer be business in my mind. Yeah.
Run that.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I like that.
That's the real stuff here, you guys. You mean hit that Cash App, you guys, for Sister Jag, because she's giving y'all a treat. Okay, I'm just a little guy here, so I'm blessed either way. But hit
It's
that
funny.
Cash App, you guys.
That's not the key I wrote it in, but because of your background music,
Yeah.
I hyped it up.
Did you produce that art? You produced that?
Which
beat?
one?
Did you produce
this one?
this beat?
No, this is somebody else. I just looped the intro.
But that one song you did, Running, I let her hear it. We like that.
We like it.
You like Running?
Yeah.
I did that in 2002.
Wow. Let's update it. We're gonna talk. I like
I
it.
did a long time ago.
I like it.
Yeah. I got a
Music
whole
doesn't
bunch
go
of
out
songs.
of style. It just needs a new costume designer.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's all live music right there. The singer was like 17.
Oh wow.
Well, you mean she
Yeah.
was 17?
Was at the time. Yeah, that was one of my
22
students. 'cause
years ago. She about
Yeah, it
to
was
sing
her.
Made as that Diddy Jay-Z victim.
Oh shit.
Because her and her friends, because they were like very, as you can tell, they were like strong. Like you can hear the gospel stuff in there because her family were really gospel. So
I want
was
to
like,
ask you a
okay.
question.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you think about Beyonce saying she's going to stand by her man, but none of this stuff that her husband's going through has anything to do with her?
Industry. Anything weird and out of pocket is industry. I'm gonna
How do you
always say
say,
it's
I'm
industry.
going to stand by my man. I believe it 100%, but it ain't got nothing to do with me. So please don't mess with my brand.
Yeah, that's the Hillary Clinton effect.
Mm.
Ooh.
Remember that? Stand by your
That's
man.
sexy.
But I want to run for president.
Mhm.
when I after I become senator or whatever she was. No, I don't, like I said, anything from the industry, I don't put it past them at all.
You want to know what I find funny? My friend D. Haven Irby sat with Sean Atwood earlier today. And it's just amazing. Sean Carter's been doing the same thing
Yeah, he
for
positioned himself
decades.
so tight up in there. I'm like, dang, how did he? Well, we kind of know
How can
he
that
got in.
woman say that it has nothing to do with her and she don't know nothing about it?
Hey, some people hide the gun after bank robbery.
I know, but my thing is if Beyonce Giselle knows Carter, regardless of what you drop from your name, Mrs. Carter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's.
If people actually think that after all this time, I don't know nothing. I was touring. I had no idea he was a bad man. I believed it just like y'all did. I'm the biggest victim.
Right.
Remember the cartel that got caught and then they put his wife on the stand and she had Gucci and all kinds of stuff, all the expensive stuff. Said, where's the buddy? I don't know about any money. She got all expensive stuff.
You
She
know,
said
I
it in
just
court.
find it funny that after people get caught in lie after lie after lie, people are still willing to believe more lies.
Yeah, like Fat Joe. Did I say that? Oops.
Sad.
Yeah.
And drunk on all that government attention.
Oh yeah, that guy. I never understood that. I really hope that the Puerto Ricans don't co-sign with this dude. They did this, he's just making it bad for any kind of relations across the globe.
Any Puerto Rican that does isn't a real Puerto Rican, because if they're not willing to accept the fact that he sacrificed Big Pun so that he could stand in his shine and pretend it was his all the time. No different than Rick Ross
Oh
pretending
man.
to be Freeway Ricky. It's crazy. Freeway
Yeah.
Ricky actually had to create the name Freeway Ricky because a rapper stole his story.
Yeah. Yeah. Freeway. And then Big Pun's wife is setting the record straight too. She's going doing interviews as well. So
Well, I hope she is.
yeah, she's
You
she's
know,
she's raking them over the coals.
she should be.
Yeah, because he dog her.
Because, in my opinion, I do believe he paid Pun's doctors to screw him over.
Yeah, strong possibility for sure. Because he was getting all
He
the
was so
shine.
jealous of Pun. He was so jealous of Pun.
In all intents and purposes, I mean, I could fairly say that I
If
consider
the Puerto
Pun being very
Rican
respectful.
community don't disavow all knowledge and attachment to Fat Joe when he claims that he's Caucasian when he gets arrested, he's an Uncle Tom, even to the Puerto Rican.
So he's a Tio Tomas.
He's Tio Tomas.
Oh my God. Let me go on here. So
A white man pretending to be Puerto Rican so he feels that it's okay to disrespect blacks. Make that make sense.
So do you have any advice on to give young people seeking to have a taste of music success in these days in the industry? Let's hear some advice for these young folks.
Believe in yourself. Know that God is in control. Invest in yourself. Don't worry about signing to a record label. Get your own server and stream your music yourself. Take a page out of Tory Lane's book. And don't be afraid. Take a page out of Sam Cooke's book. And don't be afraid. Take a page out of my book. And don't be afraid.
And when is that book coming out, Sister Jag? Because we're waiting.
Well, I already wrote a book.
Is that in my description box?
Actually, the book is called The Woodshed.
Okay. Is that on Amazon?
And it's the book that I wrote about my life as an artist and what I went through to become an independent artist and take the notoriety that I gained while in that very corrupt system to use it to push me out into the world and encourage more people to do the same.
Yeah, that's big. We need that.
It's called The Woodshed. It's available on Amazon. It's been out for years. They've been cloaking and shadowing it for years. But I'm about to redo this book. Because see, when I did that book, it was before I decided that I was going to come out and tell everything. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to unredact it with all of the names.
It's only $18. I mean, it's a fairly good price.
Yeah.
Let me see here. So I'm going to let everybody see.
That was back when I still wasn't speaking against the Carters because I was hoping that Sean was going to do the right thing. You know, it's so funny. For so many years, I waited for him to just do the right thing.
Right.
And everyone said, Jag, don't do it. Don't go in on him. Don't do it. Don't go in on him. You want to know what's funny? The other name on that book, Sharon Monet.
Uh-huh.
I reached out to her earlier this year and told her that I wanted to unredact the book, do a second edition. And guess what she did? She ghosted me.
Wow.
Why? Why would you ghost me?
Yeah, the industry is.
But
that's all I can say.
That people need to hear. She lied, said somebody died, and that's when I was convinced. That's when I knew what I believed all along. She was a plant. She mentors for Dream Hampton. And Dream actually helped do the editing on this book. Every time they came back and said that I needed to change something or I needed to reword something, I wondered if Dream was working on behalf of her former lover and handler, Mr. Carter, who
Right.
helped her fund. By the way, this book was before Surviving R. Kelly,
Uh-oh.
which Dream Hampton was behind and Mr. Carter financed. Even though I still hadn't outed him yet, he had one of his minions working to make sure that I didn't blow his ass out on this book. Now, if you look at the date of when the book was published, that'll let you know exactly how active Mr. Carter has been. But it was after this book and then Surviving R. Kelly that I knew that Dream Hampton was complicit in the cover-up.
And this is on Amazon. It's $18. It's available. So
we'll do a redact.
And we're doing an unredacted version.
We're going to do a whole different.
okay.
You got to.
So how long is it going to take to do that version so people can hold off on this?
Oh, not long.
Okay.
It'll be available in 2025.
Okay.
Also, in this book are all of my legal records from how Jay-Z paid my first husband to use my son Samuel to keep me tied up in court on felony and custody charges that Philadelphia refused to acknowledge, but Chicago did, where Barack Obama holds power.
Yeah, these.
Old Barry Santoro. Hey, Dream.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be you right now?
And they are watching. I know they are. So while they're watching, if they're watching, hit the like button and share, subscribe. Don't be a hate watcher all day now for the rest of your life.
This book is the first part of the journey. Volume 2, second edition. I won't be holding anything back.
Okay, that's well rewarded for us there. Now, let me ask you this, because I mean, I was going to ask you, about your case, because I think you need.
Sharon, I was a good friend to you. She did the same thing that the rest of the trolls did. Came into my life telling me how important my story was, how important my work was. We used to go out to Fridays on City Avenue, and we would go out and talk about the book. And, well, Jag, you can't talk about that. Well, I talked to Dream, and she said, they're very busy, aren't they? The way they work, put people into your life. And I'm so glad that I insisted, because she didn't want her name on the book, but I told her I wouldn't put it out without her name on it.
Wow, that's.
Do you understand now, Sharon? Because now your name is going to be forever linked and attached to the exposure of the Carters in Rock Nation. That's what Dream did for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And
I wish people would really respect my intelligence. Because the reason why she don't want to help promote this book is because of everything that's happening right now, ain't it, Sharon? And guess what? She was supposed to move to Texas, but she ended up moving to Florida, where Lionel B and Tasha K are.
Wow. See what I mean? And it's right there. It's right there in the open too. You can't hide it now. It's right there.
You gonna ask about the case?
Yes, I want the stuff that you want us to know about the case, so people can either help get involved.
Why do I have to let them know?
You just let them know that they didn't indict you on that BS charge with.
Oh, the charges that they're running around lying about right now, saying that I have 2 federal warrants when they're not federal charges. They're just state and county charges. But when it comes to the legal system, there is a time in which things have to be done. The charges that are being levied against me right now, one of them they're ready to drop because all of the police officers lied, and I have them committing all kinds of crimes on the phone that's still sitting in the evidence locker down at DeSoto PD now, which they don't have to give back to me until my case is dropped.
They didn't indict you in that shit either.
You want to know what's worse than that? I was never indicted. It's been over 90 days. I was never indicted. You actually have to indict someone in order for a charge to be real.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I being held on bond and being held as a fugitive for charges that the county don't even want to indict me for? And the truth is, if they do not indict within a certain time, they have to drop the charges. Why aren't my charges dropped? Since they don't seem to want to indict me. That's crazy that the internet is more worried about alleged crimes that I committed than the county that's charging me with them.
Yeah,
Y'all
kind of
have
wicked
to drop
there.
this case.
You're kind of wicked there.
Especially considering that the person that they charged me with, I've never even met. What's his name? The guy that they said I committed the so-called crime with?
Don't mention his name. We're just gonna.
It's funny. How did I commit a crime with someone I never knew and I never met? Wanna know what's funny? All of these charges were trumped up and orchestrated by YouTubers.
Isn't that a trip? Social media people.
No, government media.
Okay.
Let's stop calling it social, because there's nothing social about what's going on in media.
Okay. I'm taking notes.
This is government media.
Man. So give us, because I think this is probably the best time because you got people that see all the stuff that you have to debunk. Is there anything that people have to keep an eye out for? Or because we got some of your links there, your GoFundMe and stuff like that.
If you didn't hear it come from me,
mm-hmm.
Ask me before you believe it.
That's right.
This gentleman has asked me all kinds of questions today, and I didn't even read them.
And it just rolled off the tongue too, just right off the dome. All natural, right? Trying to
Don't
multitask.
ask my neighbor. Don't ask the friends I hang around. Don't be afraid. Come to me. Answer questions. Come to me. Come to me. Don't be afraid of what you see. You'll find I'm very lovable.
Yeah, shout out to Jeanette Halls. That's like my mom. She's like my mom, just her from the emotions. But yeah, I think the part here that's very important that we don't do enough of in our discussions is to really dissect, like your Sam Cooks and your Jackie Wilsons and people in the industry. And the one I would ask you, this is sort of like music industry 101, Is there any lessons that we can take from Ray Charles and Michael Jackson in their journey in music, the music career, and the music business?
Don't work with Quincy Jones.
Both of them did, huh?
Both of them
Yes,
got screwed over by
they sure
Quincy
did.
Jones.
They sure did.
Quincy Jones was supposed to be a friend to both, a mentor to one. We screwed them both over. And when the people came for him and tagged him a drug addict and all kinds of things, Quincy Jones didn't speak up for him once. Kind of like
They sure did.
Jay-Z and Diddy.
Yeah. Now, if
Saw
I
what he did to
notice,
Michael Jackson.
the part about Michael that I'm looking at as far as his journey from being a child, and matter of fact, didn't the family eat off of him at the age of 11 in some respects?
He was the breadwinner,
Yeah. And then
just
even
like
till the day he died.
Beyonce is
Oh, for
for
the
her
Knowles family?
family.
Yeah.
See, nobody's asking relevant questions. Why is Matthew Knowles so quiet about his son-in-law that he detests?
You
Why
think
is
it's some
Beyonce giving $100,000 to Tony Busby's alma mater
uh-oh.
in his name?
Uh-oh.
Why?
Man.
Why would your wife be donating to the alma mater of a man that's destroying your husband day for day? Why is Judge Torres, who was appointed by Barack Obama, who's friends with Mr. Carter, handing Mr. Carter his ass?
Uh-oh.
I guess everybody knows the 47th president-elect Donald Trump is coming
Jag,
back.
I wish I had that soap opera organ every time you say it. Dun! Stay tuned for as the industry turns.
So Jay-Z goes down, Beyonce goes down. If Beyonce doesn't have a way out, what's Tina gonna do for a living?
Yeah.
What's Matthew gonna do for a living? What's that whole family gonna do for a living? Why is nobody taking into consideration that as small as the elite community is in Houston, that the Knowles family hasn't gotten behind Tony Busby to help try to find a way to take Jay-Z and Diddy out of the equation so that they can keep riding the Beyonce train unblemished? This is War of the Roses. $2.6 billion divorce, and most of the money is his, not hers. Unlike Rihanna, Beyonce is not even a billionaire on record. She's worth what, about $658 million?
Mm-hmm.
That's a little short of $1 billion.
Right. Right.
That means her husband is the billionaire, and she's been riding on his billionaire status.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because she ain't no billionaire. In the words of her husband, Sean Carter, when they asked him, oh my goodness, you're a woman, you're white, oh, she's making all of this money. What does it feel like to be with the highest grossing female in the industry? And he said, B Money cute. That's what he said about his wife, that her money was cute.
Shoot.
What kind of husband would devalue his wife that way for the sake of ego?
Yeah. I call them the Addams family. That's just me, though. Weird people. Now,
Once
going
again,
to...
bitch better have my money. Who y'all think y'all fucking know? Bitch better have my money. Who y'all think y'all
Oh.
fucking know? Baby, what you wanted? Don't act like you forgot. I run the shot. Black. Pay me what you wanted. How is that little girl a billionaire and Baby 9?
And she did put in way more work too, from what I gathered.
Yeah, unfortunately, not way more hits.
Yeah.
Mustard!
Now there's a part in the Ray movie. I think it was when he was dealing with the I guess the executives of Atlantic.
Mhm.
When he talked about his master, I mean, he just had more control. And moving
Yeah,
forward,
same record company Jill Levert was signed to. Same record company Aaliyah was signed to.
wow.
All right, you don't want Lonzo told me who they were, bro. I'll tell you behind the scenes.
Okay. Because I'm trying to figure out, okay, obviously Ray, you couldn't lose Ray. He was just bringing money in hand over fist.
Ray Charles was R. Kelly before R. Kelly.
But he wasn't
The
able to see
kind of
what he's
numbers
violating.
that Ray Charles did is the same kind of numbers that R. Kelly did on Jive.
And the crazy part that, I mean, according to the movie, of course, I'm quite sure there was more things happening, but it was more like he was so good they had to conform to his demands. Does that how it went with Ray Charles?
Just like R. Kelly.
Okay. And so I'm asking, like today, any artist today that's doing it right, that's making business moves the right way, that you would say, man, he's doing it big, he's doing it like he's supposed to. Anybody that you can throw out there for us?
I think Kendrick is doing the best he can,
Okay.
considering the constraints.
Mm-hmm.
I think J. Cole is
Okay.
I wish he wasn't such a punk ass bitch. Because he could be doing a lot more for the culture. Yeah. The truth is, if you're tied to the system, you can only do their business.
So they have to try to make people expendable in order for them to take control from the artist. Was that the move? Instead of having like that talent
Artist
like
brings
yours?
the influence, the government brings the protection.
Ooh. Okay.
And once the government infuses itself into the artist's career, they're puppets, they're marionettes.
Okay. That's what I was looking at.
That's why I'm so dangerous.
That's right.
That's why Tory Lanez was so dangerous. That's why Triple X Stacy on it became so dangerous. That's why Pimp C was so dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Nipsey Hussle was so dangerous.
So going in that lineage, we're talking about people like Phyllis Hyman, right? Whitney Houston, Prince.
Who
even
I
back
am now
to
going to say for the first time, I believe she was sacrificed.
and Jimi Hendrix as well.
And
right?
Janis Joplin,
Janis
who died
Joplin.
the exact same way Whitney Houston did, and they were both managed by Clive Davis.
Cassie
And
Elliott.
they both wanted to leave Clive Davis.
Jim Morrison, right? So let me ask you this, and please hit the like
Amy
button.
Winehouse.
Amy Winehouse too. She was 24, right, when she passed?
27.
27. Okay.
Amy Winehouse is in the 27 club.
Okay. So I'm looking at this. Oh, and please hit that Cash App. You see, she got it displayed on her screen there, and also it's pinned up. Hit that Cash App because y'all know y'all not hearing this anywhere else. I made it. I mean, I try to make it that way. I'm trying to ask original questions here. Okay, so So I had to try to really word this question out pretty good. So I said, if so, here what we're looking at here.
And I
You know,
apologize for any shadow banana words that I might have used. I hope you don't have to do a lot of editing to keep this video in green because we know they love demonetizing the truth on YouTube.
yeah, I'm one of the candidates there, but this is probably the highest I receive in numbers. So I guess the algorithms are doing pretty good. So appreciate everybody for sharing and supporting. Right.
And as soon
So
as I log out, I'm going to make sure I share it with my audience. That's finally again.
It's already shared.
Oh, it's already shared. Yeah. Because, this is my eighth YouTube channel. So this is like the eighth time I've made it to 40,000 subscribers. So,
Yeah, looks like 43.
okay, there you
yeah, no,
go.
I mean, the truth is I should be at a 500,000 subscribers. But because they keep allowing content creators to screen record my work, publish it on their websites as if it's their own, and then come back and then just strike my channel until it terminates.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
They
I
do
only
a
have
lot
so
of
much
work for
time.
someone who's supposed to be so irrelevant.
Yeah, that's why my days are numbered on YouTube anyway. I'm just giving a service more than anything else.
I hope once we get our server up and running, you'll join us.
Oh, most definitely.
We're really
I'm more.
looking forward to building a safe digital space where the First Amendment will be
Yeah.
upheld to its fullest extent. And, the message that I sent to Trump, I hope he gets it. I sent him a message. And I let him know that as long as he's going after the traffickers and those who are destroying our Constitution, I will be a loyal American and I will support his presidency.
Okay. Okay. So, because I like your take on politics. By the way, I know you're kind of modest about it, but it's definitely worth listening to.
I
Um,
try not to get too political because the truth is, I'm on God's agenda.
that's right. That's right. So, like this question here, because I talked to people from the Stone City Band and from I guess like Count Chocula from Parliament. I talked to these different people, right? And they've seen it all. You know what I mean? And I put this question out here: the drug patterns of Black artists, or just artists in general, how it's used as a weapon on one end, but is used as cash fuel for the industry until death on the other end. So my thing is,
Most artists who end up on drugs were forced.
would it be considered a trauma based?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the truth is, they start slipping stuff into your drinks, into your food,
Mm-hmm.
and then your body builds a it starts to crave for that. So then you're
Oh, because
sitting in the
it's in your system.
studio. Yeah, you're sitting in the studio, and then someone hands you a blunt. Hey, smoke with us. They
Mm-hmm.
make artists addicts.
Yeah.
Other part of the reason why they hated me so much. My father was also a drug and alcoholics counselor. I grew up
Okay.
with a friend of Bill, and I started going to meetings when I was a kid. So they could never really trap me up on drugs because
Right.
I knew where it ended.
Right.
I watched my father sweat out heroin addicts in our house.
Jeez.
There's nothing like watching a 6'8" white man who looks like Paul Bunyan, balled up, crying like a child on the floor, and hearing those cries in your sleep.
Mm-hmm.
My dad would have the pot on the stove. My dad never lost not one person that he walked over. And I was grateful for that because when I went to jail, I got jailed with a lot of girls who were addicts and I helped them make it over. That's the way my daddy taught me.
Hmm.
I could never complain for any hardship because God always put me where he needed me to be.
Right. Right.
But when I started realizing that my doctor was being paid to keep me on medications and I became addicted to Percocets
Okay.
and I OD'd. I almost died and I had a heart attack right after that at 29.
Man. 29.
Someone
So
who refused to be a drug addict, who was forced to become one because of my spinal condition. My doctor had no problem writing those scripts out for me. And then I hired a private investigator to follow my first husband. And when I saw the pictures of him meeting with my doctor at a parking lot, handing him money,
wow. That's why I don't rock with doctors. I mean, I try to encourage more black doctors, but just doctors in general, I don't rock with them.
number one, the pharmaceutical agency works with the government.
Mm-hmm.
Like, has nobody bothered to pay attention to the fact that America is the only place where the Food and Drug Administration work hand in hand? They have nothing to do with each other. Why are they working hand in hand?
Yeah, shout out to Rockefellers, if anybody
Yeah,
asks.
the Rockefellers,
Hmm.
who one of them once said in an interview, I want a country of workers and not thinkers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who doesn't want an intelligent society other than a colonizer?
Yeah. Because I gathered, I mean, because I was sitting with my mom before she passed, and I was looking at the Rockefellers how they did pharmaceuticals. Um, Before they got involved, supposedly the medical industry was nutrition based on what you eat. So they give you prescriptions based on your diet, and the nurses had a long track record on helping out those prescriptions and applications. But they figured out that if we can put it in a pill form, then we can control the outcomes and we get more money. And then it lowered the requirements for nurses to have a nutrition background also.
Talking about the war on drugs, when the
Yeah.
truth is, it's the pharmaceutical agency and the Food and Drug Administration that put all of these harmful things into our bodies to make us susceptible to become drug addicts.
Yeah. People never thought about we could because there's a possibility that we are addicted to high fructose corn syrup. There's an
High
addiction there.
fructose corn syrup,
Hmm.
Yeah.
understand this, sugar has the same effects as crack,
Yep.
Yes, exactly.
and sugar's in everything. So imagine if you're filling your body like Halloween,
Oh man.
Hmm.
Christmas.
that's just prepping your children to become crackheads.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the
All that.
same dopamine and endorphin rush that crackheads get off of crack is the same that children get off of sugar.
Yep. And it takes a long time to leave your body.
And then let's not talk about all the hood baby mamas who can't afford health care and child care. So they use the liquid babysitter, the NyQuil, to put their kids out at night so they can go to the bar.
Yeah.
And when that don't work, they just tie them up in the closet.
Yeah. We call it the boom quisha method,
Hmm.
backpack dealings.
Give your baby a couple shots of NyQuil, make sure he out so you can go out and do whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
And then the second that somebody hands them a pill, they're instantly a gremlin. No, They were preconditioned.
Mm-hmm.
So let me give you the other side of my question about the drugs. Say if like for example, Jimmy, let's go with Jimi Hendrix because he's still considered the
Wait a
number
minute,
one
Jimi
guitarist.
Hendrix. Let's talk about Earl Simmons. Let's talk about DMX, who said that someone intentionally gave him crack.
Yeah, I remember that story. But the reason why I'm bringing up Jimmy is because he's still considered the number one guitarist ever. My question would be, in your opinion or just in your observation, if he was clean, if he didn't have anything in his system, would his music be the same?
There is a space in using psychedelics that opens
Mhm.
up a different door to creativity.
Hmm.
Do I think that Jimi Hendrix could have done it? Absolutely. I just think nobody gave him the time.
Okay. And we had a lot of them. Sly Stone.
Mm.
Um,
I had to tell so many singers that I've worked with throughout the years that when they finally go sober, they have to relearn their ability and gift all over again
Yeah.
because they're not used to accessing it from a sober place.
and don't forget
That's why
Parliament
a lot of
Funkadelic.
artists, when they go clean, they stop doing music because they don't know how to get to that place they got on the drugs. Oh,
So it
on the
brings it to a certain
drugs.
space. So it brings it to a certain space, like another world in somewhat.
Listen to me, the pharmaceuticals is definitely a cheat sheet to nirvana,
Hmm.
but you can get there naturally. Unfortunately, most of the things that you could use to get you there are considered illegal in this country.
It sure is.
How
I
is
heard.
cannabis a schedule 1 drug when all it does is heal if it's not misused?
That goes back to the Rockefellers. They gotta put it somewhere and try to capitalize off of it.
That's why they changed the name from cannabis to marijuana, because what they tried to do is blame cannabis on the Mexicans.
Mm.
And so they gave it a Latin name and named it a Latin name so that they could put the negative disdain, not just for this miracle plant that God gave us, but also on their big enemy because they were busy still stealing pieces of what was Mexico away from Mexico and saying that it was America.
And then the Rockefellers use hemp. They want hemp to compete with the
Exactly.
vape.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then they
Yeah,
went after them because of him.
Yep.
Yeah.
and they made a lot of money off the
Like
paper.
I can't be mad at the Mexicans for putting all that fentanyl in everything to kill off as many Americans as possible. Because if we not gonna give them their land back, I guess they gonna take it by any means necessary.
Yeah, they got the strategy for it right now.
People are buying the product.
They
And I
sure
love
are.
the fact that D Haven actually mentioned today that they are putting confetti in the cannabis.
Say fatty. That's a strike word.
What?
Yep. You can't even say that. Yeah.
Then the finny.
The fettuccine.
The finny. They now putting the finny on the cannabis. I've been saying that for over a year.
Yeah.
Didn't they all say I was crazy? And D Haven said
Yeah.
it today. Ain't that something?
See,
I remember this picture.
I'm trying because my what do you
The
call it? My
woman that
power
braided
sponsor.
The woman that braided my hair, her name is Solange. She's
Really?
African. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was the one that we all know of.
No, her name is
Different
Solange.
one.
She's African from France.
Oh,
She
okay.
was my braid practitioner. Best $1,000 I ever spent. Each time. Solange. I miss her. They started
Let's
giving
see.
her a bunch of problems for working with me too.
Good Lord. Well, we
Beautiful
still
French
got a lot.
African woman. And she took such good care of my hair. I'll never forget the first time I came to get my hair done after the World Trade Center. Everyone had to wear masks because of the debris that was still scattered about in lower Manhattan.
Uh,
And I sat down with her because I was there. I was in New York for 9/11. I watched those buildings fall with my own eyes.
yeah, I
And I
remember
hate that the
that.
fact that they're still lying about what happened that day because the rest of America only reported that 8 planes were missing. But in New York, it was 12. They shut
Wow.
down all communication in New York to make sure that all of us that were there couldn't call anyone from home or our families to say what was really going on so that they could control the narrative. And that was the first time that I realized that American media was compromised completely.
Yeah, I had a lot of friends in New York at that time, and they were emailing me pictures, and I'm like, God.
I
They
watched
said, "Is
that
it real?"
second ball. I watched that second building fall from my hotel room, Times Square, right across the street from BB King's, where we were supposed to perform. It was me, The Roots, Common, Black Star, Jazzy Fat Nasties, Slum Village, Dead Prez. It was the whole neo soul hip hop community. We had the Levi's self-engineered tour for the new brand, the engineered jeans. And we had just flown in from LA to come and do the date in New York
Hmm.
on September 10th. And I'll never forget waking up. I felt wrong. Everything felt wrong. And I had just found out I was pregnant with Sam.
Mm.
And I was so unsettled. And I turned on the TV and I saw the burning building.
Hmm.
And I said, what they doing in the Middle East now? That's the first thing I said.
Because you thought it was overseas instead of
And
here,
then
huh?
I saw the caption pop up, New York City. I jumped out of my bed in my suite. I ran over to my window on what was I on the 73rd or 75th floor? I had a
That was
clear
on.
line of
That was
sight.
Monday morning, right? Wasn't that Monday morning?
Tuesday.
I think it was a
Tuesday morning?
Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, the same day albums come out. And
Jay-Z's album came out that year.
yeah, that day. Jay-Z's album came out that day.
And I was wondering, should I go to work?
You know how much money he made that day that
Mm-mm.
9/11 happened? His album came out right after Aaliyah had just died in a car crash.
Mhm.
I mean, a plane crash. And then the buildings crashed. A lot of people don't know. His first clean 50 million he made off of short selling all of his stocks right before that happened.
Jeez.
Oops. Did I say
Oh.
that, Sean? All advice given to him by Warren Buffett and Leora Cohen. That's how he actually became a real millionaire. Short selling all of his stocks the day his album came out on one of the greatest American tragedies of all time.
Did you
It
ever
just
fold
sounds like
those?
he has a uncanny way of literally taking advantage of every bad thing that's ever happened in America
I have
in
to
his
give him this.
lifetime.
He's probably the best student of industry corruption, would you say?
No,
Oh, there's others. I mean, as far as from the rap business, maybe. What else would you
he's the
say that?
most cooperative.
Cooperative? Okay.
He's learned nothing.
Oh, okay.
He actually believes these white people like him. I guess that's why he keeps burning all of his black friends.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty interesting how he rolls compared to the 90s, I would say.
He's a very cooperative pet nig.
They got him. I mean, they've been got him, but
Mm-hmm.
I never was a Jay-Z fan anyway. Believe
You
it or
want to know
not,
what's
I
funny?
uh-huh.
Neither was I.
Oh, so just business.
No,
You wasn't even okay.
there was a lot of personal things that happened between us
Understood.
long before people even knew we knew each other. You want to know what's funny? People
Hmm.
really don't pay attention. Everyone thinks I didn't meet Jay Z until Jay Z Unplugged. And the truth is, I had known him for years. First time I met him was in Brooklyn. The second time I saw him was in Philly. Long before I turned 18. My song, Ain't Nobody Playing on my first album,
Hmm.
the lyrics go, 2 months prior, said you had a diet emergency. It was 1:30. My face was still dirty, trying to get some sleep. My head still whirling, throw on my Sherlin, leave my man home. 2 blocks, I'm coming. Yes, the car is running, hanging up my cell phone. By the time I arrived, you was deep about 5, like you had beef. Then you tried to trip. I'm sorry. Then you tried to, then you tried to trip, told me that I slipped like you was cop D. It was all about some ninja you thought was Jigga who was digging me. And I told you after that day, we ain't cool, baby. So, what you think this a game? Ain't nobody playing.
Wow. We're sitting here talking to royalty as we speak, you guys. Please hit the like button, share,
I
and
just find
subscribe.
that funny. It was all about some ninja you thought was Jigga who was digging me. And I told you after that day, we ain't cool, baby.
Wow.
Every song that I write comes from something real in my life. I'll never forget the first time a chick from Philly ran up on me about why I was seeing Jay Z behind her back when she thought she was the one. And of course, I played it off like she was crazy, and I whooped her ass all the same. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Because I wrote that song in 1999. We didn't film Jay Z Unplugged in 2001, December 2001. Why would I be writing songs about getting into a fight with girls over me being with Jay Z? I've
And he let
always
it
been
ride. And he let
clever.
it ride. Wow.
An NDA and
Yeah.
money will make you do that.
Jeez. But people,
I've known Sean
they,
Carter since I was 14 years old.
man, he go back that far. Jeez. Yeah, these guys.
I remember the first time I saw him defeated when Big L destroyed him in a rap battle. Cause that's who I was actually kicking it with. I'm from Philly. I know how to creep.
Right. Yeah. Shout out
It
to
was so
Philly,
wild
man.
when we were listening to D Haven earlier today, talking about the possibility of Ramir either being or not being. And he said it doesn't line up because that dude was with me and he wasn't moving like that at that time, which is why I told my friend D Haven Irby, we need to sit down and have a conversation in person. Because I think he should know how the man that betrayed him
Hmm.
was betraying him all along.
Yeah. And
They
all
was
this is,
moving weight between Jersey and Trenton. Trenton is only a 30-minute ride away from Philadelphia.
uh-huh.
If you go through Burlington,
Right.
hook back in on the back bridge and come down the Roosevelt Boulevard, you can be in North Philly from Trenton in less than an hour.
Yeah, that's some history there. That is some straight up history you giving us. You know.
Imagine what it was like for me that day, sitting in MTV studios doing that performance right after Aaliyah had passed away,
Wow.
and me sitting there pretending like I didn't know him at all.
Wow.
That's why when Madison Square Garden happened and I saw Memphis Bleak taunting Dame Dash, bragging about how Aaliyah was gone and Beyonce was the queen now.
I think I heard about that too.
Madison Square Garden, the so-called retirement performance, Fade to Black, sold out in 30 minutes. Sold out the Garden in 30 minutes. And that was the night they coronated Beyonce as the whore of Babylon.
I heard about that one for sure.
And I was there. And Mary J. Blige trying to sing Song Cry and failing terribly while I'm sitting outside escaping that god awfulness, listening to people in the taxi stand while I got on my Gap gray hoodie and 5411s pretending like I wasn't me, getting away from that. And I'm listening to people in Times Square. I don't know why they let Mary sing that Jag song.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Imagine standing in a taxi line in a hoodie and a sweatsuit, pretending to not be yourself, walking away from one of the biggest performances you've ever done in your life at Madison Square Garden in New York, listening to people saying, I don't know why they let Mary sing that. That's Jag song.
Right.
And all I could do was just stand there. And I left. And I didn't go to the after party at 4040 where my name was the only name from the Roots on Jay-Z's private guest list. And they weren't allowed to come up. And then Amir calling me, begging me to come, to get them in. And me saying, I'm sick and I'm tired. If you were meant to be in that room, he would have put you in that room. I'm going to bed, Amir. Amir's been pissed off at me ever since.
Now that's Questlove, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for those people that don't know.
Sandwiches, bitch hips, gastric bypass failure.
Isn't he like a South Park character in a way with drums?
He wishes he was as talented as Isaac Hayes. But you don't want him cooking because he ain't nobody's chef.
Okay.
He's just sandwiches.
Oh my God. So I guess shoot, we're almost at 3 hours, so is that a good enough time for you, or you want some other stuff to share with us here?
Well, I came to spend time with you.
Okay,
All right,
shoot.
We might
And you
pull
know
up
what?
some-
I really like the way it turned out.
It is dope. All right, we might pull up this week, bro. I'll hit you.
Okay. This is my last week off, so I got some time.
I know. That's dope.
I gotta get that Philly cheese. I gotta see how a real one is, because
I'll
mine is
never
kind of
forget that photo shoot. Baron Claiborne photographed me. Jay Manuel from America's Top Model did my makeup, and Solange braided my hair. You know what's funny? People joke about my mohawk, but I've been rocking it for years.
Man. Yeah,
That picture
you
was
got.
taken in 2005.
Oh, is that what? Okay. 20
You know what
years,
I
huh?
love? I don't look much different now.
Not at all. Not at all. I keep running out of. I ran out of because my lighter is like it's not working anymore. That's why it slowed me down because I wanted to get all into the detail. So I'm just working as we talk. But I'm
Can
quite
I
sure
tell
once I'm
you
done.
something?
Yes, ma'am.
The facial expression that you're bringing to reality right now, yet again. I had just gotten off the phone with my first husband, and he told me that if I didn't do what he wanted me to do, he was going to divorce me and he was going to get $8,000 a month
Mm.
for child support and alimony. He told me that I was
Wow.
trapped and that if I
Wow.
didn't want to play ball with the elites, he was going to, and he was going to op up against me.
So he's trying to be your handler more than your husband.
Mhm.
And I said to him, do your worst. I
Wow.
hung up my cell phone, and then Barron snapped that picture. That was my facial expression after being threatened by the man that I was married to play ball for the elite, or he was going to op up against me.
Jeez.
That was my facial expression.
Did I pick the wrong picture? Because I feel bad now. I'm like, oops.
I love this picture.
It's dope. I like it.
You want to know why I love this picture?
Okay.
Because after being threatened by your spouse to sell you out for the Illuminati, look at my facial expression. Complete surrender and acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't changed.
Yeah, I haven't pulled out the Palo Santo drawings in a while because I did Prince and my mom like that and Isaac Hayes.
When I think of that 28-year-old woman, that's my face. I accept it. We're going to take the long road home. And look at it now. My voice is even more powerful than it was back then. And I was the shit.
Yeah, 05.
28. And right after that, I OD'd on my medication that my ex-husband messed with. And I had a heart attack at 29 right after that. I walked away from Western medicine, fell into yoga, and holistic therapy. And you can ask Odell. I scoff at Advil.
Yeah.
I smoke my THC or my CBD, God's medicine,
Uh-huh.
and then I work the rest out myself. This was the year I became a Bikram yogi.
Okay.
The reason why I was on Percocets, prescription medicine, was because I have scoliosis severely. A lot of people don't
Oh,
know that.
yeah, I didn't know.
I have a 52.5 degree curvature in my mid to lower lumbar. My spinal column, it twists and it spins, which is why sometimes you'll see a gut-like appearance because that's actually my spinal cord pushing my organs forward from the way it's twisted and that very deep dip I have in my back. I have 16 pinched nerves.
Jeez.
I've been living in chronic pain for over 30 years.
You ever did the sound therapy?
Of course I do. But what I did was Bikram yoga,
Okay, so that's more effective.
and it helped me realign my spine. 3 years before this picture that you're drawing was taken, I used to fall because my spine had gotten so crooked that my hips had become uneven, and my right leg appeared shorter than my left leg by an inch and a half. I got off the meds, especially after the heart attack, stopped trusting doctors,
Mm-hmm.
and I started doing Bikram yoga. It took me 4.5 years, but after 4.5 years of Bikram yoga practice, I was able to put both of my feet on the ground at the same time without feeling any space or gap. I literally realigned my own spine, even with the curvature,
Mm-hmm.
so I didn't need the medicine. They told me I was
Wow.
going to be in a wheelchair at 35.
Get out of here.
I'm 47 and I'm still on my feet. And they both touched the ground at the same time.
I was 47 once. That felt great. So you got a good life with you. You got a nice little life with you. But
Can you
I'm really
imagine that
yeah.
for your doctor to tell you you're going to spend the rest of your life in a wheelchair and I can still climb a mountain with my old man?
My doctor talked to me like a child, and I'm like, dude, you work for me. You're fired. I told him that because I have gout, and I didn't take the medicine. He's like, well, he had a little finger wagging thing.
You
Well,
can
you
fix
take
gout
medicine.
with diet.
Yeah, exactly. Alkaline water.
Yep.
And he was mad that I wasn't taking the medicine because I didn't need it. He said, this is not a
Well,
game
no,
here. And I was like,
because when you stopped taking the medicine, it proved that he was a charlatan who was trying to push poison into your body.
yeah, I haven't seen him in 15
You
years.
want to know what one of my doctors told me when I went in for a checkup, which was my last checkup with a public doctor?
I'm listening.
He told me, "You're going to regret not listening to me. And when you end up in that chair, remember I told you you needed to take the pills."
Yeah,
Do you
like
know
a
I've had 8 back surgeries?
oh, sure didn't.
I used to
I
get the
didn't know.
set blocks when they would
Okay.
take the steroids and inject it into your spinal column to relieve the pressure from the pinching of the nerves. The needles are like this long,
Oh,
and they
is
take
that
them and
is,
stick them through your skin into your spinal column to fill in the spaces where the pinching is most heavy, to create a cushion to stop the intense pain.
is that another way of saying spinal tap?
Well, it's kind of like a spinal tap, but they're not tapping into the spinal column. They're tapping into the spinal vertebrae. And they push the
Okay.
steroids in there to create like a cushion to ease the tension from the pinched nerves, from the crooked spine being trapped.
Right.
I did that for 2 years. I picked up 100 pounds.
Oh yeah, it gets to you.
Well, cortisol steroids blow you up, and it's not fat weight, it's water weight, which is all inflammation, which any real physician would know is not healthy. Anything that causes inflammation in the human body is staphyla.
Right.
I turned into a middle linebacker.
Yeah, my mom had to do prednisone, and that blew her
Why
up.
did you gain so much weight? You're so much bigger than you were. Talk to my doctor about it. That's how I truly believe that it was Fat Joe that was paying Pun's doctor.
Yeah, that guy.
That's what my doctors did to me.
Mm-hmm.
They filled me with steroids. They pumped me full of narcotic and told me if I didn't keep doing it, I was going to end up in a wheelchair. I chose not to listen to them, to rely on God's medicine. And that's when I started integrating THC and CBD into my life. The CBD helped me heal. The THC numbed the pain. And I sat in a room that was 105 to 110 degrees, doing the same 46 repetitious moments over and over again. Sometimes I would do 2 to 3 classes in a day.
Mm.
And 4 years later, no medication, no steroids, no 9-inch needles in my spine. No, not remembering if it was morning or light because it was dark and I took my medicines and I passed out because they had me on muscle relaxers as well. My doctors tried to turn me into an addict. And I gave it all up. And I rebuilt my body in a manner in which I can live.
Do you compare your physicals after you had, you left I guess the medicine alone compared to the time when you had the medicine?
Yeah.
You see your
my life
results?
is so much better. And as long as I'm not drinking alcohol, my weight isn't a problem. I haven't been over a size 16 since I got off the meds. Mm-hmm. And people are still saying that I'm 5'5" and 300 pounds.
Oh, that's media for you.
No, that's government media for you.
Oh, my bad. Government media. Okay. Notice I didn't put social or anything. I just said media, but okay.
Let's make
But
sure
I'm
we
learning.
give credit to the people that deserve it.
I'm learning. I'm definitely learning.
I am a living example of how you can reclaim your life from American politics and foolishness.
Yeah.
They told me I needed their pharmaceuticals. I said no, and look at me. They told me without their medicine and practices that I was going to be in a wheelchair at 35, and I'm 47 and still on my feet, and I can still do a 5-mile hike on a mountain range with a 50-pound backpack on my back.
Have mercy.
You really think they want me telling this stuff to the public?
Heck no. I'm be surprised if this thing is still up. But I'm just taking it, it's all good. I just want to hang out.
It's in StreamYard, so you have it, and you can reappropriate it however you see fit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with anything you said, so.
I haven't even really been cursing.
Not at all. Not at all.
After that Shaka Khan story, I'm feeling, great. Because usually people say I got the dirtiest mouth. And for you to say that Shaka got a dirtier mouth than me, I'm going to be an
Yes.
angel on this one. Because, man, I need that out there.
She sound like she work at the loading dock. I'm
So
like,
so
dang.
does Anita Baker.
I haven't talked to Dita.
Oh, you should do an interview with Anita.
If I ever meet her, she'd probably like tell me to wipe my mouth and tuck your
I
shirt
can put
in. And,
I can put you in touch. I know how to get
okay.
in touch with Anita.
Yeah. Because I drew her too, but
No, that would be super dope for you to do an interview with Anita Baker like this and do the portrait. Oh yes.
because remember Chance the Rapper, didn't Chance the Rapper buy her masters for her?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See what that did for his career.
I like to have them kind of conversation. I like industry conversations because I'm not in the industry. I'm just a regular teacher. I'd rather hear what's going on so people can't accuse anyone else of that. You hear it from the people from the industry, because that's what we are as a people, man. We need to start really listening to the experts, people that's been there, done that, wear the t-shirt, as they would say.
You mean people who are living witnesses of what you can survive in America?
Absolutely.
Thank
I can't wait.
Thank you for bringing this memory back to me.
Yeah, because I knew when I heard you in some of these other interviews, they didn't ask these questions I was asking.
They don't ask those questions because the government tells them not to.
Yeah. I'm like, this sister had a career, an upbringing, a training.
They don't want to talk about that.
Because you got younger folks that need to hear this stuff. 20-year-old.
It's evidence of malice.
Yeah. I could actually play this for my students when I get back to work.
You want to know what's crazy? I wish you were doing Phyllis Hyman right now.
I drew her like twice. I'll send you the pictures. I'll send you.
Maybe I should help you narrate that picture.
Yeah, I sent that. I gave the original to BGS for his birthday.
I remember when she passed away and they talked about it on Power 99. And that was the first time I knew that they're willing to unalive you for it. Phyllis was about to go against Clive.
I know. I heard about that.
And she died.
Because she was, they said she had like a eating disorder and somewhat of a drug.
She didn't have an eating disorder. And they tried to put bipolar on her like they did with Lisa Nicole Carson. It's always when the people are ready to come out and speak against the abuses that all of a sudden they have all these syndromes and issues and problems.
But it gets people like Clive Davis off the hook, right? If you try to say that they're on this and they're on that, and he's like, I'm innocent. I have nothing to do with this.
He's got too many starlets that died the same way while he was managing them, or they were trying to get away from him.
Here's my tinfoil Kofi. Why so many people that was under him died in the tub?
Because that's his ritual.
Jimmy died in the tub.
Everybody who had anything to do with Clive Davis, who no longer wanted anything to do with Clive Davis, died in a tub.
Man.
It was called an addict.
That's deep. No.
Diddy who? Clive, what do you think about what's going on? Diddy who? And now Jay-Z is saying, Diddy who?
Yeah, that's that tower card. They're gonna fall. So Do you think they knew that they were going to fall? They had so much time, in their positions.
After years of getting away with red rum, why would
Yes,
you want to believe it's your turn?
right.
Art,
And
I'm
then
looking at this burger that my man made.
okay,
He made the burger and I prepped it for myself. It's getting cold and I want to eat it, but I don't want to eat it here because people
well,
say they only like me when I'm not smacking.
but I'll let you go if you want to finish eating, and
All right, we're
and
gonna
we'll
have to
make
do
it.
it again, man. This is good.
This doesn't have
Yeah.
to be the end of the road. Like I said, I'm no longer working with YouTubers, except for those who are approved in our network. And you came
Okay.
by way of the love of my life,
I feel
and
And
I
honored. I feel
trust him
honored.
implicitly.
and he knows me.
I know you know me, but I'm
Yeah.
with you.
The constant connection. That's what I'm saying.
The constant
That's
connection
right.
is awesome, but I'm with you.
He was the one that brought Kendrick to my show. Meech. He sure was.
You know what? My brother Meech, hold on a second.
I
Wait a
just
minute.
text you.
Wait a minute. Let me see if he answered a phone from me.
Who wouldn't?
Some people don't.
Hey, Art, you want me to send him that photo?
Yeah. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna touch up on. I'm gonna
Can
touch it
you
up a
believe
little
I
bit
still
more.
got deep stupid G in my
Oh
collar?
God.
What happened to stupid G?
Uh oh. Uh oh. So I'm gonna do a touch up and then I'm gonna hook you up. I'm matter of fact, we meet. You just pick it up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We'll pull up. We'll pull up.
Yeah. And then
Okay, so I'm doing an interview live right now, and your name came up.
Oh shit. Okay, today.
Well, it's Art.
no, he doesn't know me as
Hold on
Art.
a
You
second.
don't know you as Art.
There you go. He got facial hair now. Okay.
Yeah, that's the man. You got facial hair.
He remember you from Curtis Middle School and
Yeah,
Carson too. What high school in Carson?
Carson and Curtis.
Carson and Curtis. He went to school with you. Art.
Tell him, tell him
That's the
Ingrid,
homie
Ingrid,
Art. Yeah.
tell him Ingrid went to Harbor City Christian School. That's how far I went. Mention Ingrid.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, he know Ingrid. Hey, Nick, you send me a photo
Bro.
of her. I'm gonna send it to you.
He know what it looked like.
We go back a long way, brother.
Wait, he said, Art, what's good with it?
I'm the one that draw a lot. He'll know because they didn't know my name. They just said that's the
He
guy that can draw.
draws. He
When I,
actually wait a minute, Meech. Can you see the picture of what he drew of me while we did this interview?
Oh, that's crazy. That's dope.
I just shared with him the moment of this picture he just drew. I told him everything
Yeah, that's good.
that was happening during that that photo shoot. I
I used to
miss you.
hang. Tell him I used to hang out with the Saps. I used to hang out
Look,
with the
we on
Saps
the
too.
way. You know they was trying to get me unalive. They was trying to get me locked up for Christmas. They tried to do everything.
Man, I'm like, where's my sister? She ain't never around when I got a big pack.
What? Are you kidding me?
Only in YouTube, y'all.
Show me a bag of glory.
Hit that like button, y'all. Hit her Cash
I'm
App.
gonna
The
hit
Cash
you
App is
after
right
the
there.
interview. Where's Is?
These are talks that we have behind the
Tell her
scenes,
I
y'all.
love
So we.
See that? Look at all of that. Look at all that connection.
Yeah.
Hey, lady.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm in the middle of finishing up an interview, but the gentleman that's interviewing me remembers me from back high school,
That's right.
from Ingrid days.
Yeah.
And now look at how we've evolved from Ingrid to Is.
I Ingress to Israel.
Listen to me. I'm not gonna lie. The only reason I haven't been there is because I know you there. You ain't trying. You holding it up, and I love you. I love you. I know we still haven't met in person, but I can't wait to cook a meal with you and take a walk with you.
You eat that
We
cold
gotta
burger.
make that happen. That sounds like a New Year's resolution.
Yeah. New Year's didn't even come yet, huh?
Where y'all gonna be at for New Year's?
We'll tell them.
We gonna call you after this live. You know the spies are watching.
I'm gonna go on your
It's not on my channel, but I'm gonna send you the link.
all right, send me the link. Okay.
Will do. Listen, you know what? I love you in good hands. I really love it when you in good hands.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna call y'all back in a second. We gonna bust it up. We gonna talk about resolutions.
Oh, okay. You did? For real. Okay. All right, Lord.
All right.
Oh, look at that.
So anything you want to share with us before you eat your cold burger, sister?
Oh, I'm finna warm that hoe up. What I will say is, thank you.
No, thank you. You see, I mean, that's the most I've had, since Kevin Samuels passed. So, yeah, this is it. So you're a big treat in this space. I haven't
I'm
seen
not
anything
a
derogatory.
I'm not
Oh,
a
okay.
treat. I'm a
Gift?
reward. But for you, I'm a friend.
Oh, I appreciate you, friend, reward, and treasure.
It's a
All that.
reward for your audience. But it's
Yes,
friendship
ma'am.
for you.
I appreciate it. And
You know too many of the men that I love for you to be an enemy.
Yeah, because my mom was a Taurus, so I got a sweet spot for Taurus. Yeah, you gotta get those vocal cords going, and that's Taurus, baby. It's Taurus. So I'm high in appreciation
Thank you for
of you.
reminding me with this image. Thank you.
That shit is dope.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding me of all I survived.
Oh yeah, about time you get it, be nice and smooth and everything. So I'll be able to hook it up. I haven't did Palo Santo in a while. Well,
you really did capture the emotion that I felt in that moment. Let's go to war.
I appreciate that. Appreciate you, sister. So I'll be calling.
My cousin couldn't have done a finer job.
Oh, I gotta hook up with him though and talk to his agent because
you don't have to talk to his agent.
You're gonna go directly to us, man.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna invite him and his wife over for dinner. We'll make sure you're there.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Maybe my son Sam will be there when I finally link back up with him.
Oh, for sure. I'll
and I can have 3 amazing painters at my table.
Yeah, I think the missus will be back at that time, so we all come
Fabulous.
up as a family.
Fabulous.
So we'll be there.
Thank you, Art.
Thank you. And don't forget, she has her. I'm trying to remind people, Cashapp. Please hit that Cashapp. And then you got all the events that's going on in the description box. Please hit those links down there. You got the bio in there as well. So you got all of that. So there's no excuse why you cannot support this sister. She's been here and she's been in the industry and she's a giant in the industry. That's what I would definitely say. And when I see her, she's going to sign my CD.
Not a problem.
I'm gonna bring my own Sharpie if you don't have one.
Oh, I got one, but you can bring yours if it'll make it better.
and maybe I can extend that end to make it longer myself.
Yeah.
Probably. You know what? I probably replayed it in my studio. I don't know.
There you go.
I might do that. Like I got time. All right, y'all. So y'all be good out there, and appreciate you, sister. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, and see you next month. Sure, we'll see. I'll see you anyway. So
We'll
thank
see
you.
each other soon.
Come by this week, bro.
Oh, most definitely. I
I'll
appreciate you.
make sure I cook.
Oh, definitely. So
Maybe I could figure out that cheesesteak.
Oh, there you go.
yeah, because I mean, I just had California. I haven't had Philly. I need Philly cheesesteak.
Have it
So
from a Philadelphian who is actually a chef.
there you go. There you go. I'm gonna take pictures and everything.
We'll take pictures.
For sure. For sure. All
I
right.
just
So
want a little video of the first bite.
oh,
Because there's
I'll do
something
it.
that happens when people eat my food. What's the expression? Dang! Ain't that how we got old head?
Mm-hmm.
He when he ate the food, he said, dang!
That's that Philly boy, that Philly. Woo.
That's that right. My father
There
was
you go.
also a chef.
Okay. Yeah, my side too. So
I
probably
am nothing more than a collection of great stories and lessons from a time that was greater than mine.
hmm.
I'm
There you
a
go.
I'm a photo album.
There
I'm a
you go.
picture book.
There you go.
I'm an
That's
8-track.
you went 8-track. Woo. Okay.
My dad loved 8-tracks. I ain't nothing but an 8-track.
Especially when
Analog sound with digital capability.
them heavy buttons.
They
They get stuck. I remember that. Yeah, your finger get all caught up in it, break a nail.
almost looks like the preamble for a Diddy party. You know,
No Diddy.
no Diddy.
Oh man, I just hate when those tapes like kind of like tangle up.
Apparently, LeBron is selling all of his properties in America,
I need to look that up.
and he's
Oh, he
running
gonna
from the
run.
Diddy party.
He gonna run. That boy gonna run. I'm just
He
saying, give me one
should.
more championship before you leave, LeBron. Just give me one more championship. That's all I'm asking.
He ain't got no more championships in him. Haven't you seen him? He's in distress.
Yeah.
And his son ain't responding to them special medicines the way he did when he was that age, you
He
know.
needs to he needs to see RFK Jr. That probably help him.
RFK Jr. He needs to he needs to Yeshua.
Mm.
Yeah, that probably too late for them.
You gotta ask yourself, how much did he hate his life to sign up for the Schluminati?
You know, people like cheat codes, and that's one of them that they're willing to bend over for. No pun
Well, then
intended.
why don't he let his son just play video games? Stop trying to make him an NBA star. He's not.
I heard his other son is more in line than him, so we'll see.
Yeah, but they said not even he is what he is. And the reason why is because they haven't gotten all the way into the advanced medicine. Is people not realizing the drastic difference in the physicality of LeBron James from when he was playing in high school until when he first started as
Yeah,
a starter?
freaking
It,
nation.
it was a drastic change on some Rocky. What was it, Rocky 3 or Rocky 4?
Which one was it?
With the Russian.
Rocky.
2.
No, 3.
No, it was Rocky
Because
4.
that was after 2.
That's Rocky 4. Rocky 4.
Rocky 4. You remember when Rocky was out there training with the
Yeah.
wood and the ice, and they
Yeah.
had, the Russian guy with all of the
Yeah, Drago.
special
Ivan
med.
Drago.
Yeah, Drago. That's who LeBron is. He's the basketball Drago.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in that movie, Drago was under 30. LeBron, what, 40? Almost 40?
Hey, look who's calling me. Look at this. You see the
Who
name?
calling you?
Dr. Short.
Oh.
Tell Randy what's good.
I should put him on the phone. Let me see.
Put him on the phone.
Hey,
real quick.
Make
Dr.
sure
Short.
you tell Dr. Short.
Yes, I have one question. First of all, white woman to you.
Yeah, I got you. I'm on the live stream with Jaguar Wright right now, and I got you on speaker.
Hi,
you
Dr. Short.
I wish her a white man with some money. But,
She said hi to you.
okay, hi, Jag. I mean, are you ready to be a real white man or what? Because I have this brother that you got to meet. He's an artist like you are. He's talking about anime.
I just wanted you.
we were talking about Jag, and we're praying for her, man, as always.
Okay.
No, wasn't I talking about her gamble? We talking about we got to hold our sister up. I mean, so thank you for the introduction. I've already started working, calling people all over the fucking world.
No problem. We got more. We keeping the family together. That's all we doing.
Well, we've got to do something for her and beyond that. And I'm just excited about the music, getting away from these old like gorilla sissy niggas and getting into some substance. But we still have to like slay some dragons. And so, tell her keep on cussing. And
you heard that, Jack?
Right.
So I'm gonna get back with you, Dr. Short.
Because I kind of like listening to Jaguar. So, Kayla, remember my mother got mad? Why did you listen to her? Because she's telling the truth. Well, she's cussing. But you can tell the truth cussing, Mom.
Okay. So let me get back with you, Dr. Short, because we're about to end the live stream. I'm gonna call you in probably about 10 minutes.
White. Remember that.
Stay white.
Okay. All right.
Bye-bye. He always say that, white woman. Stay white. They're like, okay, stay white.
In the words of Paul Mooney, I say ninja, because it makes my teeth whiter.
My teeth white. You call this a joke? Yeah. But so I'm gonna go ahead and in the live stream and thank everybody for coming, and please support Sister Jag. You got all the information in the description box. You got the pin up right there. Click that pin up for her Cash App. And I appreciate everybody supporting this sister because she's a real sister, as you can see. So anyhow, I call you guys either tonight or tomorrow. Okay. All right, y'all take care. And peace to everyone out there. And appreciate everybody coming out here to support the brother. I got to call my dad back. Got to call Randy back. But I appreciate you guys coming at the last minute and kind of on the same page as far as, outsmart the trolls and everything. So as you can see, she's good people. She's going to be doing a couple of other people in this space too. So you guys be good. As a matter of fact, I got one Cash App. I saw, what's his name? There you go. D. Scott. Let me hook you up, brother. He gave me a Cash App and it says, what it says. So shout out to Art, knowing everybody. I guess so. Yeah. So it was just one of my chalk talks here, Sunday chalk talks here. So anyhow, y'all be safe out there and appreciate all the shares and all the people coming through again, and don't be a stranger. And I would give all these shout outs, but there's too many people and I gotta go. But I see you guys, and maybe I'll do something next Sunday. I don't know. No, I got a funeral to go to. God dang it. Well, it depends on the time. I could probably move the time around. All right, so you guys be safe out there, and I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Peace and hair grease.